Where's everyone going? Bingo? Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Show. My name is, and as always, will be Oodles, the host who's also a ghost. Joining me today, if you get to the bottom of a trifle in a single sitting, you'll meet the spirit of this next man. It's Biggie.
Blancmange!
Some call her the Blue Lady, others call her the Masturbating Nun, but to everyone else, she's called Candy.
Some people, I'm the Blue Waffle.
Oh, the fog on the Tyne is actually this man's steam after his morning piss. It's Gadget.
Quick editor's note from Stig here. Unfortunately, Gadget's connection kept messing up on the night of recording, so rather than delay everything, he decided to just drop off the podcast this week, and that's why you also don't hear him say hello here. So yeah, unfortunately, no Gadget this week either.
And Rishi Sunak's bedfellow Stig isn't joining us tonight because he's busy on his next political campaign.
Absolutely scandalous.
Instead, we've once again recruited the unofficial sixth member of Modern Escapism, the man that is affectionately known as Mr. Worldwide. Yes, it's Planty.
Just Mr. Wide at the moment. Really got to get on that diet, boys.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's difficult. How's everyone doing? What a question. What a loaded question.
All right, I
Yeah.
think.
I'm on round 5 of Fallout again now.
Oh, God. Oh,
It's better with the 5th watch.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
wow, 5 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Said nobody ever.
Wow.
I've
I mean,
barely
if
watched
anyone
it
was going
once.
to watch it 5 times, Candy, let's be fair.
I bet you spot every single Easter egg now, haven't you?
No, still a few new ones, actually.
She hasn't platinumed it yet.
I'm doing it with subtitles this time, so I'm getting a few more.
She's been sent a Fat Man dildo by Bezos for watching it so many times.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it? Just?
Oh, explosive indeed. Indeed. Shocking week. Let's not talk about the football at all. Let's not bring it up one bit. Now that's over and done with. I need to be cheered up, big style. I need to be cheered up. And the only way I can be cheered up is by Biggie's breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Think it's time we got this straight. Stop being an utter shit. There's no way that you could think I'll let you nick my bed.
You see, I know that you may be just a bit jealous of me, but you've been kicked in the head by a horse if you can't see that this document was compiled for Planty.
See, I had the shits that one time, but you're looking at a newcaster in his prime. You're a pretender to this breaking news throne. I've learned 100 things about a complete unknown.
I'm better than you. I know about the patch for Helldivers too. I can sing a song about the news, all while knocking back some booze.
You need to give it up. Had about enough. It's not hard to see. The news is mine.
I'm sorry that you can't read the auto cue. This segment belongs to me. The news is mine.
My flabber is gasted.
That's the boy's mine, isn't it?
It is.
Have you been working on that all afternoon?
Nobody saw that coming. We've
And that
been
was
working on
Blanty's
that all
idea,
day.
which was a
Although you couldn't tell from the
fantastic
lyrics.
idea.
It's going on TikTok shortly. Yeah. Good work, Biggles.
Come on then, crack on with the news.
Okie dokie. IGN Entertainment acquires Eurogamer, GI, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more. The new owner makes redundancies across the Gamer Network portfolio. That's right, Gamer Network's publications. The business also holds shares in Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, and Hookshot, which operates Nintendo Life Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension. There's already been announcements of redundancies. It's not great. I feel sorry for all of those that, of course, help provide some of these news links as well that I use.
Do they now have the monopoly on scores?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, is there going to be any impartiality? Like, someone gives it a 9, you better give it a 9 as well. You better give it a 9 also, because I own you.
I mean, there's a lot of that going on already, surely.
Mm.
Yeah, there's got to be pay for ratings, hasn't there? You know, I think we've always thought that though. But you know, since I was reading physical magazines like Amiga Power and Nintendo. And
I mean, I've always checked all the websites for reviews to get a better understanding of what a game is.
I
don't just go with one site, but yeah.
I just read the tiny blurbs on Metacritic and don't read anything else.
Yeah.
I look at the
same.
colours. It works for me.
They should all operate a traffic light system if the game is green, amber, or red.
And they've
Easy
changed
to
it all over
understand.
the shop as well, didn't they? What was it? Eurogame went without a rating at one point. They used to do another score.
They
Now
had
they've
the
gone to
100-point
stars.
rule, didn't they? Where it was like 1 to 1.9. That kind of, it's weird how they've done it. Now, what are the mostly use? Some use the 10 scale. Some use 5. Some use just good. Don't bother. It's all right scale. That kind of thing.
The thing is, as well, it's just one person's opinion, really, isn't it? It's not like they go around the office like, "What do you think? How about you? What do you think?" and like tally it up.
But do they though? Do they go around the office and start looking at each other's work?
Well, I assume you've got one person working on one piece and someone else working on another. Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if they've got time to play 6 games a week.
So it normally has the reviewer's name at the top of the article as well, so you can, if you know the website, you can get an understanding of that person likes that type of game. So hopefully, they'll be the one that's reviewing it. So.
Yeah, you won't give someone Football Manager if they've never watched or played football in their life. You wouldn't give them that game to review. They'll be like, "What is this?"
Wouldn't make that much sense.
I don't know. It could be quite interesting.
Someone that's I don't know, just been into not sports at all. Candy, would you review Football Manager next year for us?
Oh God, please no, please no.
In fact, please do it. Please do it.
Isn't like doing the taxis? Why would she enjoy doing a spreadsheet?
Patrons, if you pay enough. Candy Manager, come in.
Yes, that's Candy Manager. That's a very different game. That's a very
Just
different
every
genre
week
of
she comes
game,
up with
I
an
think.
half-an-hour podcast of what she's been up to with whatever
Oh, that
team
could
she
replace
picks.
Candyland.
Yeah.
Candy's pundit hour.
I'm into it. Next.
Yes.
Well, PlayStation London Studios posted its final goodbye as it closed its doors forever. They put a little statement out saying, "For 20 years, London Studio has been home to some exceptionally talented and wonderful people in the games industry. As we close the doors and go all forward to new adventures, we wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to all our past, present players and colleagues who supported us over the years. We had one wild and wonderful journey."
What's
How about a bit of
What are they
fucking
most
good
famous
news
for?
once, please?
What did they do? They did the iToy stuff and what was the other thing they did as well?
Did they do Wipeout or was that Liverpool?
That was Liverpool, I think. Oh, SingStar as well.
All right. Expensive peripherals
Oh, yeah, there
to
was that,
play
yeah.
a game. Same with iToy,
Never
I
seen
guess.
one.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe they were quite. Yeah, everything there was
It
quite
sounds
expensive.
it, yeah. Oh, only one of those I really liked were Guitar Hero and DJ Hero. They were good.
Oh, DJ Hero was amazing. I'd love one of those for PS4.
They were brilliant. I loved it. Next. Sad, but next.
Oh, this will be interesting with Oodles on the pod. Mad Max developer hits back at film director George Miller. So Avalanche founder Christopher Sundberg has hit back at Mad Max film director George Miller for claiming the studio's game wasn't as good as he wanted it to be. During promotion for the new Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga film, Miller was asked by Gaming Bible about whether a new game was considered alongside the film. He responded that Avalanche's previous game wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, adding, I'm one of those people that would rather not do something unless you can do it at the highest level. He then said he'd love for Hideo Kojima to take on the challenge of a Mad Max game.
It was brilliant.
I'm with Oodles. I've played it 2 or 3 times, and it is great. It's probably a little bit samey on the second or third game through. But what else can you do? What else can you do?
Well,
with
Sundberg hit back at Miller, stating that this is complete nonsense and shows his complete arrogance. They did everything they could to make this a complete linear game after having signed up with the developer of open world games. I'm sure Hideo Kojima would make an awesome Mad Max game, but it would be a completely different experience. He also said after the first year of development, they realised they'd forced us to make a linear experience rather than the open world game we pitched. We threw away a year of work and got to hear that players want autonomy in this day and age. Well, no shit, he said. Larian Studios director of publishing also weighed in, claiming the developers didn't have access to the film's assets, which made it pretty difficult to capture the spirit of it when legal is precious about IP. He added, a small nuance probably Miller doesn't even know. Sorry, Oodles.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying I'm a big fan of Kojima, but I won't attach him to a Mad Max game. It's just going to be people talking.
Yeah.
In a game that needs to be about driving and shooting.
Miller is a great director.
He is.
I was, as of recording, I still haven't seen Furiosa, but we will be watching it this week. But I absolutely adore all the Mad Max films. Yes, even Thunderdome.
I do. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
Cut it down by 40 minutes, and it's a perfect Mad Max.
Yeah, I don't need the desert scenes and stuff like that, the hallucinations and all that nonsense with the kids. But
before times.
Yeah, Coba. But the game is so fucking playable. It's so playable.
It absolutely is, and for me, it's one of those where it scales perfectly as well.
It does
with the amount of time played with it. Yeah, if you haven't played this yet, and you listen to this podcast regularly, I don't know what you've been fucking doing, because it just bangs on about it at least once a month. But
I love it.
Absolutely do. It's on all the PlayStation free tiers, I think, by now.
It is.
So yeah, give it even if you just play 10, 20 hours of it, it's great fun. And there's loads of little hidden bits and mystic.
You can build your own car.
You absolutely can.
Oh, the magnum opus. Love it, love it, love it. Next.
Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki has a strong will to make... Has a strong will to make an Armored Core 6 follow-up because there's still room for improvement. The Armored Core series began life in the 1990s with massive explosions, excessive oil spillage, and anti-corporate themes, all timeless ideas that powered the big mechs across 3 decades before Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon dropped in 2023. The Armored Core series is very important to From Software, Miyazaki said, and in an interview with IGN Japan, translated by Fandom Wire, we have a strong will to continue it in the future. I believe Armored Core 6 was a success. The famed director reckons not everything was perfect in the game. There's still room for improvement, so I have no intention of stopping there.
It's a fantastic game. It's a shame that Gadget's having recording difficulties, so he's dropped off a second. But it's a shame he's not here to listen to this, because he loves the game a lot more than I do. I love the game, but he fucking
It's really
swears
surprised
by
with us, actually, I think.
It's really accessible for that genre, because mech genres they're old as time. They started on like chuffing old PCs and SNESs and stuff like that, and it's the most accessible mech game I've ever played in my life. Like, for people that have never even touched it, and it's got a fascinating little story in the background of it and reason to replay it and stuff like that. A lot of games forget to do that now. Like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 generation had games where like you play them twice, you get second scenarios and stuff like that, don't you? You never see that anymore, but you do in Armored Core.
It's fucking solid, though. It's another really hard game, and I don't have enough time or the thumbs for it. I'll just play that other mech game from a few years ago that had a couple of games in the series.
Mech Warrior.
It was on the Xbox. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. You find a mech, and the mech links itself to you. And Titanfall. That was brilliant.
That was wicked.
I really enjoyed Titanfall.
Okay, Titanfall's the most accessible mech game.
It's accessible. Yeah, for me, I borrowed the other, and I kind of was like, Yeah, I'm just.
It's
gonna
not
go
easy.
play a Tetris now.
Yeah, it's not. It's,
I've got Uno somewhere. I'm sure I'll play that instead.
you got to learn the rules on that one first, though. Christ,
Yeah,
amount
true.
of arguments I've had with Uno.
House rules, always.
House rules.
Always house rules.
Yeah,
You're right.
I agree, mate. I agree. Cool. Next.
A little link to mechs. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus 2 has been announced.
No idea what that means.
At various points of that sentence, I thought you'd finish the sentence and you just carried on.
That's
And
my,
then at the end, it was kind of, oh, that sounds quite interesting. You went 2. And I went, oh, I haven't even heard of the fucking first one.
Neither have I, mate. Neither have I.
it's a skill not many people have.
Well,
Terrible
look,
sentence
you won the
structure.
sing-off, Biggie, so yeah.
Does this fly on anyone's radar? Mechanicless or whatever you said?
I played the first one. Did I play
Oh
the
yeah,
first one?
fuck off! You have not played that.
I think I might have.
You have not played a Warhammer
It's
game,
the tactics version of it. Well, they've got various different game formats for these, haven't they? I think Mechanicus might be one I've played.
Well,
I was
Quite a
in the
lot, but I
Hammer
think I
shop
played it.
yesterday.
You were not in a Warhammer shop yesterday. What were you doing in there?
Buying paint. I get in, buy the paint,
Just
and
paint
go, 'cause
though, not Warhammers.
Asking
No.
directions.
Peg on your nose.
No, I go and get the paint and go because it's a bit smelly in there normally.
You know, paint's cheaper at just a paint shop.
Yeah, but you've got to witness how the others half live, don't you? Every now and
Yeah, I
again.
suppose.
Like, what are these?
I heard how's the others half live. I was like, blimey, are you accusing them of not being human? Yeah,
Well-
She is.
that's fair.
You have to just observe every now and again. It sounded like they were having fun though. So
What did they do when you walked
But
in?
did they not go, oh god?
Yeah.
Did they not do that?
it was more of a freezing motion. It
What does it feel like to be the queen of that room when you were in there?
feels pretty good.
The heavy
you've got
metal
to go into
music
that as
stopped
well.
in the background.
Let's be honest though, Candy, you're the queen of every room you walk
You
into,
are.
am I right?
I try.
What a girl! What a girl! And she is. You should have seen her at the podcast. Planty. Well, you did. You were looking for a window like this.
Hello, human fly here.
She was owning that building, weren't you, Candy?
Oh, I
Stomping
tried,
around.
yeah, I tried my
Splendid.
best. Then I'm going to go over to Diva, so enjoy that phase.
Next.
There's a rumor that a new Doom game reveal is coming at Xbox Showcase, and it might be coming
need
to
that.
the PS5. Ahead of next
can't argue
month's
with Doom
showcase, as mentioned, outlet Insider Gaming has posted a new report claiming Bethesda plans to announce a new Doom game during the live stream called Doom: The Dark Ages. Sources tell the website the new title out of ID Software, or id Software, will be medieval inspired, essentially confirming it will be a prequel to the PS4 reboot and Doom Eternal.
Sounds lit.
Ooh.
I'm up for a bit of oldie timey rage.
I think I'm with Stig, if I believe, on this one. Me and him didn't get on with Eternal at all. Like,
I think
remember
Gadget
playing
recommended
Eternal.
going back to it, didn't he? the other
Yeah,
day?
he did. I remember that. I do own it. Digitally. I remember getting to not very far. Like, just, when you find out that you're in a space cathedral. And that becomes your home base. And I didn't get very far. Maybe I should go back to it because I fucking loved the remake Doom. No, that first one that was so fucking good, but it was quick, wasn't it? It wasn't a long game. It was just pace, and I loved that. So maybe I'll have
I think
a go.
Doom's a game you can kind of throw between
Anything.
bigger games.
Yeah.
for me. It's something you absolutely don't have to think about it going, and it makes you feel like you're really good. Certainly makes me feel like I'm really good at first-person shooters, which I am not.
Yeah,
Same,
same.
But Doom is like you could just blow the fuck out of anything.
It's a very good amuse-bouche, isn't it, of games?
You don't
Yeah,
even have to reload in that
absolutely.
Doom game, do you? There's no reloading. You just constantly go, let's go.
It's just shooting to metal. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, I
should
did
go
play
back.
it briefly, but I couldn't get into it. But maybe I should give it another.
I remember them making me climb a lot. I was like, why am I climbing? Why am I climbing?
Yeah, there was a lot of platforming in the
There was
last
a lot
one,
of
actually.
platforms. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
I miss it when you couldn't even look up and down. That was better.
Dogs can't look up.
They can't, I've heard.
Hey, Big Al said.
Big Al says.
The guy at the Winchester said they can't. Next.
Stellar Blade on the PS5 quietly adds uncensored new costumes in the controversy aftermath. The company has quietly added the two new extremely revealing outfits as part of its boss challenge patch, neither of which were communicated prior to the update. To reiterate, you automatically unlock both the black kunoichi and the white kunoichi when you install the update. When the Neurolink suit can be obtained by beating all opponents in the new mode, but it never mentioned the inclusion of the Midsummer Alice or Midsummer Red Hood, both of which can be purchased from Roxanne in Zion when the patch is installed, whatever that all means.
What are you saying?
I know.
I know.
lost the trail of that.
But both
Roxanne
appear to be
sounds
loosely
cool, though.
inspired by Alice in Wonderland and Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, but with no knickers on, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things there. First of all, do you only get the boss pack if you're a Scouser? Hey, that's boss, that lad.
That's boss. That's boss.
Secondly, I want the Midsummer outfit to be loads of like a flower
Flower.
crown, a massive flowery crown, and your character to be screaming for the entire duration of the last act.
I still can't bring myself to play that game after playing demo. I felt sick.
It's of no interest to me.
Like
I might
if
play
I
it if
ever
it's a
caught
freebie.
playing that, if my wife walks into the room and I'm playing that, that's it.
Rachel still not got over the fact that I had sex with Shadowheart.
Well,
in
mate.
Baldur's Gate 3. She's still not over. She
Cheating
feels
on
like
her.
it's some sort of cheating. Yeah.
I'm still
You
trying.
were cheating on her. Are you still trying?
Still-
She plays hard to get
So,
that one.
mate, you've either got it or you haven't. I've got to be honest.
Whisper sweet nothings into her ear every night.
Okay.
That's how you get a
Tell
minute
her,
candy.
tell her she's a useless girl. That's what they like, isn't it?
Say it again.
Don't get her going. Next.
AI helps push forward boundaries of storytelling, says Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann. He weighed in on the debate surrounding the use of AI in game creation, suggesting the tech allows creators to take on more adventurous projects and push the boundaries of storytelling. His comments come in a fresh interview published alongside Sony's recent corporate strategy meeting, where Druckmann speaks of the exciting marriage between traditional storytelling and cutting-edge technology. He explains the new tools are allowing for even more non-technical people to realise their ambitions and turn imagination into reality. Moreover, AI is going to revolutionise how content is being created, although it does bring up some ethical issues we need to address. With technologies like AI and the ability to do motion capture right from home, we're reducing both costs and technical hurdles, opening the door for us to take on more adventurous projects and push the boundaries of storytelling in games. This evolution is truly empowering creators to bring their visions to life without the traditional obstacles.
Sounds to me like they're cutting jobs. That's what it screams to me. We've got more.
Yeah.
I know
Don't
I
turn
like
me against
Druckmann, but it's like we've got. It sounds like to
do
me
it.
we've
Don't
got
do
more
it.
money now because we don't have to hire as many people.
Yeah, he's either trying to sugarcoat the point or he's just very, very naive.
There is
It
a point.
depends
There
how-
will be a use for AI as long as it's done in the right way. And
The
as
use
you
for
say, it
AI
doesn't
would be for like
affect people's jobs.
inconsequential stuff like, I don't know, NPC background chatter so they're not getting repeat chatter, that kind of thing. But making sure that if
Yeah.
it is someone's likeness, that they're getting paid for that likeness still. Do
Mm.
you get what I mean? That's the difference. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna. I don't think you can beat this behemoth of AI nowadays. It's just happening, isn't it? But it
It's going to
probably
eat
is.
itself. You've seen the art. You've seen the
Yeah.
art starting to. AI's now copying AI pictures, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's fine, but in the short term, the damage is
done,
is
innit?
done
Yeah.
already, arguably, and is only going to continue.
Let's
to be
see.
done.
Let's see. Keeping my eye out on you, Druckmann. Don't cancel yourself, please. Next.
2K will develop the next FIFA game, a leaker has claimed. 2K is rumoured to have secured the official FIFA license to develop the next FIFA game.
It's going to be
That's according to
basketball, isn't it?
unverified claims from a
Sure.
retailer who alleges that the partnership is confirmed and 2K will be developing a new football game series.
Has any of you guys played the 2K sports games? I think they are a bit shit.
No.
The wrestling one was all right. I'm not really
The
into
newer
wrestling,
ones-
but I
the newer
played
one
that,
was
so I was
good.
told to.
But
It's
the
pretty good.
NBA,
Yeah.
the NBA ones, I think they're a bit. It doesn't feel like you're actually playing it. You're not in control. It doesn't seem like you're in control. It seems spectacle over like I said, control. But then again,
Yeah.
I can't remember the last FIFA I truly turned around and thought that's a fucking really good football game. I've got FC 24, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not that convinced on it. It's not mind blowing.
I'm playing the career mode on FC 24 at the minute. A couple of weeks ago, I've been my a player had been called up to the England squad. I was kind of like, oh, fantastic.
You're not modest, are you?
This kind of stuff. And then in the summer there was this. No, well, I've wasted a lot of my life. And in the summer there was a tournament, and it went, you've been picked for the Euro Cup in the tournament. And I was like, all right, okay, some fucking friendly cup or whatever. And it took me until I got to the final that I realised I'd just won the European Championships, because it wasn't called the European Championships. Just
You just beat the
Euro Cup.
You just won one of the prestigious cups ever.
I was like, the Euro Cup against, like, the group stage was like Denmark, Serbia, and Bosnia or something. I was like, well, yeah, that's fine. I'll just play at half my usual effort. And I was like, fucking hell, we've just won the tournament. It's such a disconnect not having those two particularly big things, whilst you've still got all the other stuff in, like the Champions League and the Europa League and all of the leagues as such. But then not having that just seems. It's only a tiny little disconnect. It doesn't make too much difference, really. But this is going to be the FIFA World Cup, right? And the FIFA and UEFA, whatever. But without any of the players, I assume, because I think EA has access to the players. So it's going to be back to the days of ISS Pro Evolution Soccer, where you're changing all the names.
I was playing West Yorkshire Whites. Great team.
Well, that's right, yeah. Or Sensible World of Soccer.
When you had people editing the option files and posting them up online was a game changer, because
so you could have actually the players.
I couldn't get into FIFA. Mr. Pez, I just couldn't get out of it.
ISS were way better. ISS way better.
Yeah, I was too. It was the better game.
In fact, even now I've heard FIFA's the better game, but I just can't get into it. And I don't play football games.
You're playing eFootball now on your own.
Yeah. I just play football, man. I just can't get into football games anymore. I think
they're not like they used to, mate. They've gone like FC 25, like Planty will know because he's been playing it as well. It's like it's not enough simulation and it's not enough arcade fun either. It's some kind of weird on the fence. We don't know what we want to be game.
Are they not just glorified like gambling machines at this point though now?
They are gambling machines, yeah. And if
there's one mode that is specifically that, Candy. Yeah, but that's the same for Madden.
Yeah,
they're
outside
for the NBA one. I assume it's going to be same for the new college football. That's
mate, the MLB The Show has got a add-on packs that cost like £1,000.
Jeez.
What?
Because I love a baseball game, but I ain't paying for that. Fuck that. Next.
To World of Film and TV. The next Knives Out movie title has been confirmed as Wake Up Dead Man. Writer and director Rian what's wrong with me?
Rian Johnson.
Is it Ryan?
Rian Johnson.
Americans spelling it weirdly. Rian Johnson has confirmed via social media that the title of the next Benoit Blanc movie sees Daniel Craig return as the dapper, drawling detective will be Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.
I don't think that title's really as catchy as Glass Onion or Knives Out. Seems a bit.
Well, there's a bit more in the revealing teaser trailer. It says, "In the beginning, the knives came out. Then behold, the glass was shattered. But my most dangerous case yet is about to be revealed. Cue a shadowy version of a black coffin before the Wake Up Dead Man title treatment appears."
I loved the first one. Knives Out was fantastic, and Glass Onion was good, but it just wasn't quite what Knives Out was. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. I think I preferred the cast.
I think if they get this right, it could become sort of a yearly tradition, couldn't it? Because they're more or less family friendly to a point, aren't they? It's one of those kind of sit down at Christmas, watch it every year. The new kind of Knives Out film.
There's no shagging. There's no like loads of swearing around.
Yeah, it's the new Marple.
It's Poirot, isn't it? It's Poirot.
It is.
It's Agatha Christie on speed. And I'm here for it. Bring it on. Let's see what happens.
Agatha Christie on speed, I would pay to see. That would be fantastic.
Mate, you can watch Agatha Christie while on speed if you want.
Catherine Cookson on Eckies. Yeah.
Oh, God, that's good. Next.
We've had trailers revealed for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F and Beetlejuice this week. Have you guys seen either of them?
Nope.
Beetlejuice, yes.
I don't watch trailers for films I want to watch, and I'm not going to watch the trailer for Axel F.
Last thing I saw Eddie Murphy in was that Jonah Hill one. Can you remember that one where he's Jewish. He wants to marry a black girl, and the family's like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's a real film.
It sounds like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
It is very much like that, but and Eddie Murphy plays the young girl's dad, and he's a very like fundamentalist black Muslim in LA, very very wealthy, and he's like, I have no Jew in my house.
Oh, I'm not against this. This sounds fun.
It's all right. It's all right.
It sounds all right.
It's all right. It just has jokes on either side of the religious spectrum and stuff like that. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because Eddie Murphy was fucking good in that. So maybe this new one will be good.
I've hated everything Eddie Murphy's been in the last 20 years, including Mel B. Mel C.
No,
Mel
B. It is B.
Mel B.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Minch-teasing bastard.
If anyone wants to give me Sky Digital. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but what's that? I can't remember what it's called. It's Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy. You know what? IMDb shit. It's one of them. That was good. So
Bowfinger, I think, was the last Eddie Murphy film I truly enjoyed.
Yeah,
And that
wow,
was 25
yeah.
years.
Bowfinger's
Right
good.
for me as well.
Bowfinger. Future 100 Things episode, by the way.
Good. But yeah, Axel F. Did anyone cry out for this? Did anyone need another Beverly Hills Cop?
No.
Still never seen Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Watch Cobra instead.
Do. Yes, do.
Let's see what happens. You never know. It might be a gritty reboot because I can't imagine it being that funny anymore. But saying that though, I suppose Beverly Hills Cop's it was the highest grossing R-rated film for a long, long time, wasn't it? It's not a family-friendly comedy like people think it is.
No, I think he does swear quite a bit in that movie.
A lot.
I remember.
A lot. It was the highest. I think Deadpool took over that. I believe it did as the
I
highest
like the
grossing.
Golden Child. That was a good movie.
Golden Child's good. Let's see what happens. But Beetlejuice. I've not seen the trailer. Who's in it? Is it Michael Keaton?
Yeah, they've got
Yep.
largely the original cast back, apart from Baldwin.
Paedophile Jeffrey Jones.
Are you
Well,
telling
no,
me they're
apart
not
from
putting Jeffrey Jones in it?
It looks like they've killed him off, to be honest, which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
I think it looks fun. It looks fun. They're obviously using practical graphics like they did in the first one. I think Tim Burton's gone even more Tim Burton with it, and I think it looks like the cast they've got is great. They've got Winona Ryder back. They've got Jenna Ortega, who she's obviously Tim Burton.
She's his new love child,
the
isn't
new
she?
muse, isn't she? For sure. She'll be in loads of his stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be
I trust
interesting.
you.
We'll go and watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I trust you, but I trust you.
On Tim Burton, you can trust me. I think as well, like it's been in the pipeline for years and years. Like they were going to make it, and it got cancelled, and they were going to make it again, and got cancelled again.
recall.
So obviously, like hopefully they've got from two failures come something a bit more enjoyable, maybe a bit more.
I tell you what, though, the Beetlejuice cartoon were brilliant.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
really
the
good.
Beetlejuice cartoon was a lot of fun. I mean,
was really
it's
good.
very much like those Aliens action figures.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have thought before you made something very kind of 15
Yeah.
and 18 for children. That's what we did in the 80s. What can I say?
Yeah. Times are different. Cool. I'm up for let's see what happens, because I keep knocking films before I watch them, then I watch them and go, fuck, that was good. I need to stop being that like negative at the beginning of it.
Absolutely do. I'm guilty of it as well, mate. I need to do it.
Just embrace the madness, isn't it? Axel F's going to be an Oscar winner. Fuck it. Who cares? Next.
Filming currently underway for a new Alan Partridge series. The 6-part series will follow
Now we're talking.
broadcasters returned from a year in Saudi Arabia.
What's he done over there? What's he been doing?
Oh, I can see that being an issue.
He's been rooming with Richard Keys.
Yeah. I wonder what car you're driving over there. I wonder what he thinks of the roundabout system that they've got. They've now got there.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for new Partridge. I didn't watch all of that thing that was meant to be the one show.
Oh, I
So
enjoyed that. I did like
fucking
that.
good.
I really need to go back. Tom keeps saying I need to go back.
Do you know
to
what's good about
some
that? I think it's this time with Alan Partridge, isn't it? What's good about that is it's all like live telly, and it's so fucking funny. It's so funny because one
So
show's live,
it's him
isn't
back to his roots of
Straight away, he's like, "I'm back on the BBC."
yeah.
Yeah, I do
It's
recommend
really
it. It's
good.
great. And his assistant is quite funny as well.
Yeah, Tim Keys. Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Next.
Okay. Patrick Gibson has been cast as young Dexter in the Dexter prequel series. Christian Slater will star as Dexter's adopted father, and Molly Brown has been cast as Dexter's sister, Deborah. I am not interested in this whatsoever.
What is it? What's Dexter? Is Dexter the killer? What's the killer guy?
They're now doing a prequel to this that nobody asked for.
I've not seen the
They're
original.
They're trying, aren't they? Because they did a sequel series a couple of years ago to try and
Yes.
redo the ending the way they wanted. So say when the original ending was terrible, and this new ending they gave it wasn't that much better. But
It was better, but not much. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm more for because during the Dexter,
Was it really good, that show, or is it?
it was
roasted
great
at
for the
first?
first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Up to
I
like the
agree.
Trinity Killer, it's perfect. Yeah, really good. But there was a season where they actually did have Dexter playing a 13-year-old Dexter, just played by this
Yes,
36-year-old guy.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So it's
because he's got a hoodie on and a baseball
long
cap,
hair.
He had a wig.
long hair, wig.
So
yeah.
the casting's better than
Oh,
that.
that's so
but
funny.
I don't know. I just don't. I have no
They
interest.
should have had him back. They should have had him back with his long hair and his hoodie
I would have
on.
watched it. Hey, fellow kids.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, fellow children. Forget it, man. I'm not just. I'm doing it again. I'm being negative on something, but I've not seen the source material, so I've got no say on this whatsoever. I know Gadget liked it. I think Stig liked it as well. So fair play to you. Good luck, Dexter Junior, whatever it's called, The Young Adventures of Dexter.
Dexter Jr. No, it's a prequel. Not a sequel with his son doing all the
Prequel.
killings now.
Okay, then The Young Adventures of Dexter the Murderer. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a
what
more
it's
snappier title. I like it.
called. Yeah, that's what I'm talking like.
Killer-
Think like
killer
young Indiana
title.
Jones. Are you? Hey, wee. Next.
A Vision series will be released in 2026 with Paul Bettany set to return. Terry Matalas from the Star Trek Picard show will serve as a showrunner.
Vision. Everyone's favourite MCU character. Said no one ever.
I mean, I enjoyed Wanda, but
what-
I just have no
I did.
real interest in going to any Marvel.
No one
films
cared
now.
about Vision.
No one cared about Vision.
I
And
wish.
do you know what?
Go on.
For me, because I cared so little for Vision, I cared so little for the show.
I get it, yeah, because
I-
he's the crux of it, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't feel emotionally invested in her issues because him not being there was her issue.
I don't even
and-
dislike Paul Bettany. I think he's good and he can be really good, but Vision's such a and Biggie will back me up. It's such a departure from his source material as well. It's completely not what it's like.
Yes.
And I mean, the Vision should have Ultron should have killed Vision, and Ultron should have still been alive. That's how I see it.
Yeah. But I'd
I
really
miss
like the
Ultron so
show.
much.
I just thought because it did something different, it went. It was that slow build up, wasn't it, throughout the show? You knew
Oh,
something
I
was
love
off.
the show, but
But
I didn't care about Vision.
no,
Never have. Never have. You know what I mean? It's because of Vision that the snap happened. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
could have stopped that quite early on. No, we have to say we don't trade lives. Fuck him. Fuck him. He's not even alive. Fuck him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a life. He's a robot.
Fuck him. And he's trying to have sex with our girls. Come on.
Coming over here off the mainframe,
Yeah.
taking out women.
Taking our jobs, taking our women. Ugh, get rid. Never mind, Next.
finally, Steven Spielberg's next film will release on May the 15th,
Finally.
2026 in the theatres. It'll likely be his untitled UFO film, and the script will be written by Jurassic Park and War of the Worlds writer David Coep.
Hang on, Steven Seagal's in a UFO film coming out soon.
Steven Spielberg, not Steven
I thought you
Seagal.
said
I
Seagal.
did wonder what you heard.
But now I want to
Seagal,
see Steven
you said
Seagal
Seagal.
in a UFO film.
That's why I wasn't laughing. I wouldn't laugh at a Spielberg film. I honestly thought, because I don't know, it cut out in my earbuds. I thought you said Steven Seagal's latest film. Like, what is he doing?
He's in his Aikido on Aliens, be incredible.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh. So, Steven Spielberg's new film, it'll probably be amazing. That's a completely different thing.
I'm still stuck on Seagal. That would be brilliant. Like Seagal in Seagal meets Spielberg in the ultimate Steve off.
Oh, yes.
the Steve off. Now is the time for them to work together. Both of their careers are arguably on a downward trajectory. Right?
Arguably.
Bring it on. I mean, Spielberg knows how to do aliens, doesn't he? Let's be real.
Ugh, does he?
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
I thought it was just a nasty rumour.
You should have seen what he did to E.T. Poor bugger. Oh, poor little bugger. Next.
That explains why E.T. was on his knees so often.
God.
Ow.
Oh,
Ouch.
I don't know. Jeez. Put the wig on and, I was kind of okay.
when he's got that dress on and that hat on and that wig, is that what you're into?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
Full disclosure, yes. But also, full disclosure, I was scared of E.T. until I was 14 years old.
Terrifying.
I saw it far too young.
I did the same with my daughter.
I just love that bit when the
messed that up.
when
for
E.T.
her.
and Elliot get pissed. It's so good. It's so good. Love that. Getting pissed at school and kissing that girl, doesn't it? Because E.T.'s sat at home drinking Budweiser. He's a very little lout.
Just a standard school day in West Yorkshire, though, isn't it?
Yes, note that. That's fuck all. I went to school with E.T. You're a good lad. He owes me a tenner. Anyway, next.
World of music. It's a shame Stig's not here for this. US regulators have sued Live Nation, accusing the entertainment giant of using illegal tactics to maintain a monopoly over the live music industry. The lawsuit from the Department of Justice says the firm's practices have kept out competitors and led to higher ticket prices and worse service for customers.
People have been ragging on about Live Nation for a few years now, and it's all starting to come out, isn't it?
Well, alongside with
they
its
are
subsidiary,
the proper
Ticketmaster,
evil ones.
which is the link, Live Nation
Yeah.
puts on concerts, sells tickets, and owns venues, serving multiple roles that the Department of Justice says it has turned into a gatekeeper for the industry. It owns more than 250 venues in the US and manages about 60% of concert promotions at major venues nationwide, according to the lawsuit, which was brought on by the federal government's Department of Justice as well as 30 states.
Bloody hell. They've got everything. Whenever I've ever been to a gig in past 10 years, it's always said Live Nation somewhere on a ticket. Oh,
Ticketmaster.
They really do own everything.
They are scumbags. Ticketmaster have been for the last 10 years. Like they do this dynamic. I don't think it affects us as much over here, but in the States they do dynamic pricing. So it's like, when you try and book a flight, depending on how many times you've looked at it, the price will go up, or if more people want it.
Or if you use a VPN, you can get it cheaper.
Yeah. But and that kind of thing. Like that's why these tickets for Taylor Swift start at $700 in the nose.
150 quid. 150 quid seating at the back, nosebleeds in Manchester. No thanks. No fucking thanks.
Yeah, and they also
God
own.
love her. God love her because I'm a big fan.
They also own sites like Viagogo as well. Yeah,
Yeah, all the resale stuff. Yeah, it's all like internal.
Bloody hell! So they're just profiting constantly.
Well, it's created. What they do is create scarcity. So when say Slipknot go on, they're nearly always sold out immediately. And then you go to the show and it's half full. It's like, what the fuck happened here? It's because Ticketmaster.
It makes it lucrative, doesn't it? It makes you want to be like, oh my god, it's an exclusive. I feel like a VIP now.
And they've been, as Candy says, the last 10 years, probably even further back, they've done really, really little to prevent scalpers from buying tickets up.
Yeah.
So they're buying the tickets up and selling them, outside the venue, and sometimes not selling them. But the ones that they do sell, that covers any losses on the ones that they don't sell. So for them, it doesn't matter. But for the band, they go out and exactly as you say, Candy, there's half empty floor space, blocks with no seats full, and whatever. I remember the promoters made the money.
I remember the days when I used to have to go to like Rocket Sounds in Leeds and buy a Leeds ticket, Fest ticket.
Absolutely.
I had to go in and buy it.
If I wanted to go Cockpit, I'd have to go to Rocket Sounds or whatever the other one on the head row was called, Stand or something.
Electro music as well. That was in Leeds. Yeah. You had to physically go in with cash. Did you accept card there?
Yeah.
And say I would like a Leeds Fest, and they're like, "What type of Leeds Fest ticket do you want? Do you want camping? Do you want 2 days, 1 day, 3 days?" I was like, "Early bird, please. Here's my £150."
Here is your physical ticket. Here's your physical ticket in your little wallet. Yep. Here's your little printed off thing.
Yep.
They would rifle through a drawer. God, old men remember buying tickets. I mean, who is this for? Next.
It's for everybody. They love to hear this kind of chatter. Oh, I miss them days. Now I'm scared to to book gigs now. I get friends to do it for me. Like Stig will message me saying, "Do you want to come to this?" I'll be like, "Sure," or mainly no. So I get other people that know how to use these things to get them for me and trust.
I forget you've got to buy them that far in advance now.
I know.
If I don't,
What if you don't like them anymore?
yeah. By the time you've got one, they've come out and done something really awful. You're like, I'm not giving anyone money.
It's a dark tale, but I remember my sister buying Lost Profits tickets. A few months later, she couldn't go see Lost Profits anymore because something came out. He was a naughty boy. But yeah, it's like, what if you don't like Taylor Swift next year? What if I don't want to go to Glastonbury next year because, I don't know, we're having a baby? Do you know what I mean? A lot can fucking happen in a year.
Yeah, last year we bought tickets for Kendall Calling.
Yeah,
and the
it's
lineup
a good
was
event.
Atrocious.
It's usually a good event.
Absolutely awful. Like one of the headliners was Rick Astley, and I was kind of what?
What's he going to play that same song like 4 times?
Yeah, and it was bands the only bands that we wanted to see are bands we'd already seen. So this year I was like, no, we're not going. No matter what, we're not going. And the Streets are playing, and Kate Nash is back. Loads of bands I want to see. Tons of bands I want to see, and I can't get a ticket.
No.
Do you know, I'm sick of taking this lottery of tickets.
Yeah. Like, I've been to Glastonbury, for instance. I went years ago, before they had the lottery system up. I went then, and I couldn't imagine trying to get to Glastonbury now.
It's a mare. Absolute nightmare.
If you've got through the lottery, it might not be this year's Glastonbury anyway. Yeah. You might have got the lottery for 5 years.
Yeah,
I'll be fucking dead in 5 years, guaranteed.
You'll be still in the queue of traffic in 5 years.
I know, it's just
for sure.
Yeah, and this is all because of these big companies, like you said, just draining the life force of fucking live music. Because I love live music so much.
I booked tickets for my wife to go and see it all Devo later in the year, and not only did I have to go through Ticketmaster, I bought the tickets. They encouraged insurance.
I bet they did.
There was items per item fees, $6.95 service charge for full price tickets times 2, £2 facility charge full price
Stuff
2
like
times,
toilets.
and then there's handling fee as well for £2.55.
And it's all
Did you
digital.
get a physical ticket, Biggie?
Bollocks. These are the email ones, the mobile ones.
So you print them off.
So there's no
or
handling
you put them on your phone. So what are they handling? They're handling nothing.
Exactly.
The facility. It's of no great facility to you. Fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah. Or do what Kanye does and make good friends with
Very
the
good
bands.
friends.
Oh yeah.
then you can get in anywhere. Bloody Penny Lane over there.
What, like Steven Spielberg and E.T.?
Oh
Yeah,
God, I'm
very
not
much
prepared
so.
to go to the lengths that that would take.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get banged by the full cast of Il Divo, though. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You would love it.
At least they'll whisper sweet Italian nothings in your ear. I assume they're Italian.
For a tenner.
I think they are. For a tenner. Ooh, go on, next. Fucking hellfire.
Finally, over to the Weird World Web. Hope you're ready for this.
Nope.
Woman gets acne and depression from brothers and boyfriend's poop transplants.
What?
Let that sink in for a moment.
There's a lot to unpack there. One, poop transplants. What's that supposed to fucking mean?
Meet Danielle Kopke. Since her college years, she has struggled with debilitating irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, that makes her life a complete misery. Over the years, she's consulted
acronym, isn't it?
multiple doctors and experts. Despite their best efforts, none of the treatments for her worked. Desperate situations call for desperate measures, so she decided to try fecal transplants. That is,
What the fuck is that?
inserting donated poop into her guts to alter her microbiome.
What?
For the record, this is an actual medical treatment that can relieve certain conditions. Yet considering her poop donor was her brother, it was a little weird. Miraculously, though, putting her brother's poop in her system did help with her IBS. However, she started suffering from acne problems, just like her brother. So she switched to transplanting poop from her boyfriend. Again, her IBS was better, but now she caught her boyfriend's issues with depression. Wow.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but
I mean,
No, it just sounds
This is
mad,
a lot.
doesn't it?
That's a Pornhub tab all of its own, isn't it?
I want to
It
know
really is.
how. So, does the brother collect the poop in a bag and then they inject the poop up the
FMT
bum?
is an experimental medical treatment where gut microbes from a donor are
Fucking no, right? No,
introduced
fucking
to the
experimental
patient's
indeed. It's a mad scientist.
stomach intestines. Usually that's done by turning the donor's feces into an enema or swallowable pills.
This is actually quite in vogue with weight loss at the moment. Apparently,
bit nutty.
the gut biome in skinny people is different to overweight people. So people are eating skinny people's poo to try and lose weight.
No one's eating my shit.
Oodles, send us a bag up, mate.
No one's eating my shit, mate. It's
Howie,
Guinness
get us a
flavoured.
bag up the road.
It's
Come
Guinness
on, I'll
flavoured,
try
it's
anything at this
delicious.
point. Except not eating pies. If I can continue to eat pies and also eat your shit, everyone's a winner, baby.
No, it's not happening. I am not. No. I just can't imagine. How do you?
I wonder what
how
other
do you
things you
gather
can
poo?
get from eating their poo, though. Because, I mean, it could be an advantage, couldn't it? Like, if somebody's a really good athlete, they could sell their poo.
You think you're going to be able to start running?
You might.
To the
Poo
toilet.
pills.
Oh, hey! Very good.
Her boyfriend had been struggling with depression in the past. After she started taking his poop, she noticed that she too was getting increasingly depressed. Over time, I realised my depression was worse than it's ever been in my life, she said. According to researchers, it's possible that lacking certain gut bacteria can contribute to depression. Her boyfriend's poop transplants had clearly wiped out whatever the anti-depression microbes that were in her gut. In the end, she decided she'd rather deal with pimples than the crushing void of depression, and she switched back to her brother's poop. Within her week, her depression disappeared.
Do you think you can, like...
Have a Yakult and cheer up, love. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
have a Yakult.
I'm coming up with a Candyland here. Do you think it's like information can be exchanged by... So it's like a really gross version
No.
of the Matrix. Instead of like plugging into a program, you swallow somebody else's poo.
I think the whole
The
thing's a load of
information's
fucking
downloaded.
bollocks and probably a placebo effect. It's exactly what it is. It's a really expensive placebo effect. Is this German by any chance? They fucking love scat.
No.
Where they're from?
California. I guarantee it's California.
I'd have to, do you know what, I have to
Somebody
find the
is
article again and
raking
find
it
out
in.
where exactly it was. But yeah, I didn't get that bit.
That's
What
ridiculous.
if?
It's
What
got to
if
be a
you,
Dr.
you ate the
Scheitz
poo of a serial killer that you didn't know where they'd hidden all the bodies, and the information got transferred? And you
That's not how it works, Candy.
just saying.
Not how it works. This
It's
is a
certainly a great movie plot, Candy. And let's
A
talk
movie plot, did you
offline
say?
about this script. Oh, very good.
Sorry.
Movie title, Shit Happens.
Oh, fuck's sake. Right, that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get on with the Nexus. I'll start because I've had a decent old week. First, I'd like to mention honourably what I've been doing all week game wise. I've been back and playing Onimusha, guys. Who remembers Onimusha?
Oh, yeah.
So, what triggered it for me was
Shogun.
basically I watched a YouTube video of a guy saying Onimusha games, get back to them, they're brilliant, even today. And then I realised that there's a PS4 version available and a Switch version of the first one, Onimusha Warlords, by Capcom, if you don't know, the GOATs. And it's a remaster, HD remaster of it. And do you know what? I just miss when
Games
you
were
could
fun.
guarantee that a game would be good. Games were fun. Like you could go to Blockbusters, here we go again, rent a game for a weekend, and you were done. And Onimusha Warlords, it's a 5-hour masterpiece of what it is. If you don't know what Onimusha is, it's Resident Evil in Sengoku period Japan with swords. And it's so very fucking playable and camp and terrible dialogue, but just brilliant. A door's locked, you got to go find the key. While you're looking for the key, you got to slash some ninja zombies. It's so... If you've never played any of them, because I've been playing them all, the second one's really good. It's got like a friendship system where you've got to befriend people. The third one stars Jean Reno, and that's who you play as. It's fucking insane, and it's set in Paris. Can you remember that one, Biggie?
I
I
remember
loved it.
it.
I thought all three games were great. They were mad, bonkers as it went on. It got just crazier and crazier.
Oh, there's 4 games. There's 4 games. Is Dawn of Dreams as well, which is, again, another great PS2 game, but it wasn't a classic because it's not Samanusuke in it, who everyone loves and stuff like that, and it's not Jean Reno, which, it's so mad that if you think about it, I think it's like 2002, a game starring Jean Reno on the box.
Onimusha of all things.
Does he do his Does he do his Godzilla Elvis impression?
He only does his likeness. He doesn't do his voice. His voice is another famous voice actor that does a lot of voices in Metal Gear and stuff like that. It just the funny thing is, Jean Reno does do voice acting, but only when his character speaks French, which is very sparse.
Right.
But I tell you what, them games, you need to go back to them, guys. They're fucking sensational little games.
I could play them again.
How does it play on the Switch, Oodles?
It's incredible.
Is it
Onimusha
really?
Warlords on Switch, it's perfect. You've got to remember though, it's an old game. There's no autosave, so you've got to save at the save points. That's the only thing I could recommend. Play it on easy and just have a really good time. It's just a really fucking solid game, man. I absolutely adore. It's 5 hours of your life.
It was a really good hack and slash, from what I remember. Just really interesting.
It really
enemies
is.
And it was really cool.
And the buttons are pretty much like Resident Evil. Like you press R1 to aim your sword and then just slash. And you know what I mean? It's not complicated. It's just, and it's good. And all the puzzles are Resident Evil. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's made by the same team.
Yeah.
And it's just really solid. And I don't know. There's something special about that time period that makes me fucking miss it so much. And there's all this like bombast and expense thrown into games nowadays. Like the latest game that maybe one of you is going to talk about today potentially. Senua Saga Sacrifice, whatever it's called, where it's just so much money put into it that it can't do much else as a game. Do you know what I mean? It's just spectacle.
The character models were really cool, weren't they?
like
The actors' faces, they were really well animated. So good.
Yeah.
For back then.
For back then, yeah. And and people always say, we want Dino Crisis back. I want Onimusha back. I think it's better than Dino Crisis. It really is. And it's such a... Play it on your Switch, guys, because it's nice to have a game that you can just pause and you can just come back to it whenever you want. And it's just a really fucking lovely... You'll download, because you probably never played it, have you, Planty?
I played the first one a little bit. Yeah,
that's the
It was
one,
a
Onimusha
PS1 game,
Warlords.
right?
PS2?
PS2. Yeah, pretty sure I played it a bit. Yeah.
You won't remember anything from it because I couldn't.
No, I
I
don't.
didn't remember a thing. And it's just... Oh, the voice acting is so hilarious. It's so camp. It's so fucking brilliant. You can play it in Japanese if you want the proper experience. But yeah, I really recommend Onimusha. Not so much the spin-off games that came out, like the Tactics and stuff like that. No, but I'm not asked about that. And I think there was one called Onimusha, like Dream Warriors, like Freddy Krueger or something like that. It's so much shit. But I've also watched one of my all-time classic favourite films. It was something I was thinking, you know, because, again, 100 Things We Learn from Film podcast is a very good podcast that one of us here, two of us, three of us have been on, and one of them that's always on, because it's his podcast. It made me think, what if I had carte blanche choice of what I should pick to be on that show?
You might have soon.
I might have soon. What would
comes up on the list? Yeah.
What would I pick? And in my head, I picked the film Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Oh,
And then I turned around and thought,
boy.
this would be shit for facts.
It would be a shocking episode.
What was the film you said?
But
If you
God,
do-
it would be a great excuse to watch it again.
What film is that?
If you've never... Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. I'll tell you what it is
Never
because
seen it.
it's the most nichest of nichest independent films of all time. So it showed... Oh God. You all know I love Shakespeare. I'm one of those weirdos that love Shakespeare. So this film is basically... It shows the events from the point of view of two extremely minor characters from Hamlet. Basically, that's what it is. Two offside characters in Hamlet, the Danish prince, one of the most famous plays of all time, somehow got their own film. And it stars Gary Oldman and Tim Roth and Richard Dreyfuss. And it's the one and only directorial debut of Sir Tom Stoppard. It's
great.
Nothing happens in this film. They just talk. And that's why I love it.
It's to be honest, if you bring that, I guarantee somebody's going to bring My Dinner with Andre. I guarantee it at some
Definitely.
point, and we're stuck with shit like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, don't, but yeah, do.
But
It's got mini episode for the patrons written all over it, mate.
Basically this film inspired, and you can tell, it inspired Tarantino. it inspired a lot of directors that, Kevin Smith, for instance, directors that really love dialogue, because that's all this film is. It's about these two bit part characters, existentialism. It's weird because they know that they're bit part characters of a play, but they're in the play, and they're not. They're like exist in that universe, in Hamlet universe, and there's so much like meta stuff. They don't know who's Rosencrantz and who Guildenstern is, so they just keep calling themselves that name to each other. They don't know who they are, and at one point, one of them discovers gravity, for instance. And then they start talking about gravity, and the opening scene, if you can remember, Planty, where he says, because I know our fates are intertwined, every time I flick this coin, it's going to land on heads. And he does it 60 times in the film. At the beginning, he just got heads.
The listeners are going, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
If you like meta filmmaking,
Yeah.
this is the one for you.
It started that. I think it came out in 1990, something like that. It started the craze of dialogue being more important than a car exploding. And
Yes.
if you're not into that, you won't like this film whatsoever. And again, it's not a very good big budget, so it's grainy, it's ugly, it's aspect ratio shite, but it's free on YouTube, the whole film. I think it's an hour and a half tops, and it's just Gary Oldman and Tim Roth being phenomenal thespians, absolutely phenomenal.
That came out in the time of
It's just-
the Gary Oldman golden age, wasn't it?
Yes,
Sort of like,
purely,
was it like
pure-
late
yeah.
90s? Was it early 2000s maybe?
Early
Early
90s?
90s, yeah. It was that and a
Yeah.
couple of Tarantino. He was all over the.
True Romance.
That's right. True Romance. That's what I'm thinking of. He was all over the place, but you wouldn't
Yeah.
recognize
Dracula.
him. What's that? What's the other one where he's that mad copper as well that listens to Beethoven?
Oh, fucking hell. I was planning
Yeah.
what you needed. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, it is. I think Gary Oldman takes centre stage over Tim Roth, but I still love Tim Roth as well. And Richard Dreyfuss is in it, just randomly doing an English accent. It's just, it's such a mad film to describe to someone on a podcast about bit part characters in a play that's 400 years old.
You're braver than me. I wouldn't have attempted to try and describe it.
But
So,
my
well done
favourite-
you. You've done a good job of it.
Yeah, my favourite films are films where actors can act and talk to each other. Like, I also love cinematography. There's barely any cinematography in this. It's just a soundstage. But I recommend it. Again, it's free on YouTube at the moment. You'll not find it anywhere else because I don't think anyone's got distribution rights for this film. It just died on its ass.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's fucking brilliant, and it's just the existentialism. As an adult now, because I watched it when I was younger and I still loved it, but as an adult now, I'm like, yeah, what is it? What's the point in anything? But then, like Guildenstern will say to Rosencrantz, but if there is no point, we may as well enjoy it. We may as well enjoy while we're here. Why the fuck not? It's just, yeah. I recommend it if you're intrigued by the concept of how the fuck this came about, and I recommend it if you really like Gary Oldman and Tim Roth, because
Who doesn't?
this is what shows the chops of someone that doesn't need to do a backflip and shoot bullets, and you know what I mean. I'm not going to bring it to your podcast, Planty, because again, we probably get 2 facts out of it. William Shakespeare lived in Stratford upon Avon. That's probably it.
Let's do a little. Let's just talk it through for the patrons.
Yeah, I think we
Let me know
should
when
be.
you've got an hour free
Yeah, I
in the
think
next
we
couple of
should.
weeks, and we'll talk it through for the patrons so they can have a listen, and we'll put a link up for the YouTube video as well, so those that are paying for the podcast can have a listen. Yeah, why not?
I'm
It
up
just
for
gives
that.
an excuse to have a chat with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film. Again, like I said, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. By the way, they know that they're dead all the way through it as well. Existential, meta, crazy film. Watch it. It's free on YouTube. I don't think it'll waste your time. It's an hour and a half, maybe even less, because credits quite long. And it's just, yeah, please watch it. Please indulge me. If you like dialogue in films, it's a great one. There's also a book. You can just read the book if you want. But yeah, that's been my week. Good little week. I've also started playing what's it bloody called? Unicorn Overlord. That's the game you were asking me on Twitter. Biggie. but I'm not into it enough to really give it a review yet. But yeah, plenty.
Right, okay, look. First of all, big stuff. No 100 things this week because John's father-in-law's been really poorly in hospital the last week. He is on the mend.
Good.
But it's come the week before John and Kirsty have jetted off on their holiday to Rhodes. So it's been a bit of a shit show for those guys. So we're having a couple of weeks off. We are hoping to drop, if I can find the time, some a couple of facts, lies, and rock and roll, which is our kind of like
I like it.
which is our music facts thing. The episodes usually go from anywhere from about 15 minutes to about 40 minutes. So we play the song, we have a bit of a chat, we learn about it. Most importantly, though, I want to take the opportunity to wish Big Tam all the best. See you soon, mate. Hopefully you feel much, much better soon.
Absolutely. Speedy recovery.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. He's such a good lad, Big Tam. He really is.
I've never met a Scottish person I don't like.
Oh, no, you'd like Tam. He's all right. And Kirsty, for years and years and years, because John and I met through Kirsty, who's my best friend. And he used to always complain that I was, because I was a bit older than Kirsty, that I was pulling her astray by down the pub with her all the time.
You were.
But it was always her idea. It was always Kirsty's idea that we go to the pub for years
She was
and
the
years and
pisshead.
years. Like I was the one. Like I was the fucking problem child. Do you know what I mean? But it was actually our Kirsty that was the problem. So anyway,
Plot twist that one, wasn't it?
Of course,
She's not here to defend herself.
No, because she's on the pissing roads, mate. But of course, it wouldn't be Modern Escapism if I didn't show up with something without something to plug. I'm doing Hallmark of Greatness this week. I've had a few weeks off of that. Just again,
Another great
busy
show.
lives. Hallmark of Greatness, of course, is the podcast where we talk about Hallmark film one week, and then the next week we talk about what we call kind of last orders, which is the films that are somehow related to a Hallmark director or whatever. But this week we're talking about a film from 2006 called The Covenant. Anybody?
Oh, no.
It's got Candy Mate.
I
It's got
know,
you
I
written
feel
all over it.
ashamed.
I'm not kidding.
I know this movie. I don't know if I've seen it.
This
Yeah, I'm
is
sure you'll
this is
explain it.
basically it's basically The Craft, but with
Oh,
four
no.
lads. One of them being the Deep from The Boys, and the other one being Sebastian Stan.
No way.
It is Candy's face, right? It is Pretty Boy Central. It really is like Non-Threatening Boys magazine, the film.
I'm
in.
looking at it now, and I recognise
Yeah, I don't think I've
recognise
seen
it.
this.
It's fucking atrocious, by the way. That'll be out the same day as this. So once you've listened to this, go and try Hallmark of Greatness. We haven't actually
It's got
recorded
Taylor
that
Kitsch
yet,
in it as well, The Curse.
but I have watched it. Yes, Taylor Kitchen's in it as well. Yeah, it's utter crap. It's absolute fucking bollocks, and it's got a fart rock soundtrack that you can set your fucking watch to.
You already sold it to me. Come on.
Have you ever thought, what did 2006 sound like? This.
Do you know the poster that I'm looking at there? It looks like the Take Back Comeback tour.
It does, yeah.
Take
It's
that.
exactly what it is.
Never
I've just seen
forget.
the Rotten Tomato score as well.
Oh, what is that, Biggie? Just out of interest.
4%.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
Metascore was 19 out of 100.
Rotten don't come close, mate. I've got to be honest. It's really bad. But anyway, look, that's the plug. The thing that I've truly been watching this week, though, is a video essay on YouTube, and I am really ashamed to admit it took me a long time as a viewer to really take YouTube content creators, video creators, as seriously as I do now, and I feel I'm not catching. Well, I am absolutely catching up on years and years of YouTube content, but I always used to look at, people go, what do you watch? Oh, I just watch YouTube all the time. Like, do you not
How?
watch any scripted stuff or anything like
Yeah.
that? And actually, it's not the case, because I watched a 4-hour Jenny Nicholson video today called "The
Okay.
Spectacular Failure of the Star Wars Hotel."
Oh,
I say
yes.
today over the last 2.
I've seen this
days.
drop. Is it good? Please tell me it's good.
It is. I'm not kidding. I'm probably over-egging it a little bit, but I think it's 2024's Fire Festival film.
Wow.
No way.
Right? It's not probably not quite to the level of that Fire, because that Fire Festival film was fucking the bomb, man.
It was so
the
good.
best thing I've seen.
So good.
I watched it twice. We finished watching it, and I put it on again.
Biggie, watch it tonight.
It's on Netflix. Mate.
Yeah, I remember whoever watched it on here was talking about it.
It's one of the best documentaries they've done.
It's that and the one with Limp Bizkit. What was that? What was the festival?
Lollapalooza.
Woodstock '99.
No,
Woodstock,
99.
Woodstock,
Fucking
yeah.
hell, that was awesome.
When they were trashing
And
the
they just set
fucking
fire to it.
stadium.
Fire Festival was really watchable. The Woodstock one was a lot less watchable because there was sexual assault and things like that.
And Connor
they just
in it.
went, yeah, we didn't see any of that. The guys that did just went, we didn't see any of that. But look, there's no sexual assault in the Star Wars hotel, which is great news. Anyone that knows me is already well aware that I love a star and a war. Right, they're my favourite two things. I love it as much as the next 20 stone balding middle-aged man. Right. However, unlike most of my ilk, I love all the new stuff as well. It's new stuff, old stuff. Unimpressed Count Dooku, I love it. Right, I'm not.
You just love a Jedi, don't you, mate?
I absolutely love a Jedi. That said, I'm still not over them replacing the Yub Nub song at the end of Jedi in 1997 versions. That's the reason alone George Lucas doesn't come to Carlisle, by the way. He's persona non grata here.
Have you? Speaking of that, have you heard that new that dubstep remix? It's in the charts of Return of the Jedi. Do you know that little singing number that they did on the remasters?
Oh, yeah.
There's a dubstep version of that. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Jesus.
There's a dubstep version of that.
Nothing can be worse. I personally hate dubstep, but I will go away and I'll give that a listen.
I fucking hate dubstep.
Right. So Disneyland in Florida, listeners, there's a thing called Galaxy Edge, and it's based at the Star Wars land. It's got rides, lads dressed as Jedi, shop selling porgs. That's P-O-R-G, Biggie, not P-A-W-G-S.
Yeah, I was almost booking a flight as you mentioned that.
He knows what that is, and if you don't know, you're innocent, and I love you.
In 2022, Disney launched Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, which sounds a lot sexier than it is. It's a hotel experience where they promise you that you can, and I quote, role-play your own Star Wars story. Right? So it's full of actors, live events, and a smartphone app that lets you join in loads of various stories from the New Order, Rebels, and even helping a stowaway. The idea and the concept is so amazing, and they build it. She builds it up, Jenny Nicholson, with this, with clips from all the kind of the drops and things, including. Did anybody watch that Goldberg's TV show that was on Channel 4 and E4? You know the little shit kid that grew up as it went on. Adam Goldberg. Well, the actor that plays him is wooden as fuck in one of these, one of these adverts going, oh, wow, can we punch it? Yeah, you can punch it. And it's atrocious. But it looks really interesting. Unfortunately, it's done. It looks like it's done for shareholders. It doesn't look like it's done for people to enjoy. So it's not great. But the whole thing, the idea is fantastic. There's people, as you go through the stay, there's someone in a Chewbacca suit. There's lassies that look a little bit like Rey. If you squint dead hard and you have too many cocktails in the cantina.
Too much blue milk.
There's loads of that. It sounds really good, and it sounds like something I'd absolutely love to do. So Jenny Nicholson, this YouTuber, she's a theme park obsessive and a Star Wars fan. She paid to go with her sister, and she filmed every step there, from getting into the park to getting onto the ship, kind of thing. There's no major spoilers here, but early into the video, she costs a 3-day stay with her sister at $6,000.
Jesus.
Fuck off.
And she breaks it down to the entertainment time, not including sleep, but the entertainment time, to $2 per minute per person.
Wow.
And that's when she decides she's going to get her money's worth.
Wow. I'd be furious sat on toilet because I'm wasting my time having a poo.
It's furious. Her video is brilliant. She gets really involved. She creates her own character. Like they're told, create your own character, and you can use your own character when you're there.
Glup shit out.
It is a true, it's a true kind of like LARPing kind of thing. But she has an absolute disaster-filled trip, being ignored by cast members, having the app not work, and getting seated behind a pillar for the big show. So you see just this fucking pillar when you're meant to see all the stuff going on.
Oh.
Strap in, right? Because it's 4 hours long, but honestly, it's the most riveting 4 hours worth of TV I've watched on YouTube. And put it on 1.25 because she's squeaky enough as it is. But you can tell she's got a love for the source material, and you can tell she really wanted it to work. Again, just Google it. It closed last year. It was open for like a year. It closed last year, and it's just a disaster. Had it not closed last year, I probably wouldn't have watched this video because I might have had to go myself, and I would have been fucking raging if I had it done. Because the thing, Oodles, especially you, considering, with your Yorkshire sentiment of how much,
I'm a tight bastard.
think about it that way, and it's an absolute disaster. Candy, I know you like a nice expensive trip away, so why not?
You mean
Biggie,
she's fiscally irresponsible?
Disneyland, so it's something that works for the lot of us. It really would, but. It's broken down into chapters as well, by the way. So there's like 20-minute chapters. There's something like 13, 15 chapters. So you could just watch one chapter a day.
I'll just watch it all at once.
But yeah, I did. I binged it across 2 days.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I was cooking last night and I watched like an hour and a half. Rachel was like, "Where's tea?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm staring at the beautiful big eyes of this, little lassie telling me about the history of one particular droid, and she knows her stuff. She really does know her stuff.
Yeah, and it's a shame because, like you said, if she really went in with all hopes, like, I'm going to document this because it's going to be amazing, and then I bet halfway through there's a fun realization, like, I'm now documenting a disaster.
She really does, like, give it, as the Americans would say, the old college try to keep going and keep being positive. But there's
optimistic.
There's nothing there. Like it's empty, and it's Anyway, I won't give you any more because
I'm going to start it tonight after this podcast.
You must, mate, and you've got to talk me through it. As you guys are watching it, you've got to message me because I'm going to start watching it again. I'm going to watch it again while I'm doing some DIY tomorrow. I'm going to put it on.
I remember watching the reveal of this
I need to know what
thing.
you're thinking when it's going on.
I remember watching the reveal or the like you said, the company roll of it. You know, when the trailer of this hotel and making it out to be the best thing ever. And people getting in after a long night of being a Jedi, packing the lightsabers and then getting into bed and listening to the sounds of the universe behind the window. Because they make it look like you're in space, don't they, with the windows and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And in fact, do you know what? I've called it 2024's Firefest. What I should have been saying was it's the new Wonka experience. It
did
kind
start
of
to
is
sound
the
like
Wonka
that.
experience.
Oh,
yeah,
no, it's still
so that's Jenny Nicholson's The Spectacular Failure of the Star Wars Hotel. The internet is a buzz with it at the minute, by the way. So I'm not bringing you anything that no one's not heard of. But yeah,
I haven't. I mean,
did you drop it in the
post it in
Discord, or was it somebody else randomly dropped that in as well? Because
maybe they did. Yeah.
Somebody's
That's where
dropped
I saw
that
it.
link. Yeah,
that's where I saw it. I was like,
very strange that you're talking about it as well.
All right, okay. Oh, credit to whoever that is.
You know how quick they are in this Discord, mate. They are rapid. Them.
Have you any idea where that was? And while everyone else is talking, I'll find it.
I imagine it's under the TV and film section, but let me have a quick look and see if it was there. It's only today.
I imagine it's under the disaster section.
We need that section.
Yeah, you'd live in there,
I
Candy.
would.
Speaking of disasters, let's jump over to you, Candy.
That's pretty apt, actually. Cast your mind back to say, I think it was 5 years in that first Xbox Series S and X reveal. It was the first trailer. The screen goes dark. Highland comes up. We see Senua chanting away. This huge backdrop of a giant Iceland, waves crashing. Okay, so last week it came out, Hellblade 2. And I was
What's it called? What's the full title?
Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. First one's called
Saga.
Senua's Sacrifice. This one's called Senua's Saga.
Oh, quick Star Wars update. Believe it or not, it was Gadget who dropped it. He's watched it.
Oh, well done, Gadget.
Oh.
The man knows. The man knows. The man knows content. He knows it's king.
So anyway, back to Hellblade.
Apologies.
Back to the Gotti.
I've been looking forward to this game for 5 years. As soon as that first trailer dropped, I saw like I think it's the photogrammetry where they capture somebody's face, and it's just like
She's very handsome as well.
She is a handsome
that
woman,
actress, isn't she?
but just every muscle like in the face is perfect. Every subtle nuance, everything that is not symmetrical about a face, absolutely perfect. And this is where Hellblade 2 excels. Like the look of the game is photorealistic in places.
Is it the best tech demo ever made?
It's very much the best tech demo ever made. So I'll present this in like a let's call it a bit of a shit sandwich. So it is the best looking game I think I've ever seen, and this is on the Xbox, and I played it on PC as well for comparison's sake. It's not vastly better on the PC, I have to say, and I've got quite a beefy boy running. I've got some good
It cost
screens.
you a fortune that PC, didn't it?
£2.49 from Comp City. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
I thought you said Alan Wake was probably the most photorealistic game you played recently.
I lied.
Alan Wake 2.
I lied. It's don't get me wrong, Alan Wake is phenomenally
it's
good looking.
Unreal looking. Unreal.
But this is something else, and I think to the detriment of other parts of the game, which is where we get onto the shit part of this turd sandwich.
She really likes it.
I really wanted to like it. Actually, we'll go back to some of the greater things, because I really do need to like the look of the game. So in this game, it's set in Iceland. In the first game, it was set in the Orkneys, and there's a reason that she's deliberately got herself captured and taken off to Iceland. The look of the place is spot on. You've got a volcano in the background that's constantly bubbling away, and you can...
Can you name that volcano?
Pardon?
Can you name that volcano?
Oh, God, no. Don't even ask.
No one can. No one can. Can you remember when it blew up that time?
So
it was a bastard when it stopped me flying to France, I'll tell you.
Yeah, bubbly.
Very famous volcano. Nobody likes him.
But you can look around and you can see every individual stone, and they're all different. They're literally all placed. They all move when you touch them.
It looks fucking gorgeous, man. I've seen some people playing it this week.
There's no HUD whatsoever.
Gorgeous.
There's no tutorial. So where the first game had the voice, basically the voices are just constantly telling you what to do. And it's in 16:9 as well, so it's cinematic the whole way through. So at not one point are you going to see a button come up on the screen. Not one point you're going to say, "Oh, hit this to do that," blah blah blah, or go over here. Nothing, none of that. And it's like playing a movie.
Yes.
Which would have been more fun, because the gameplay is not good.
Is it shit?
So, do you remember the puzzles from the first one?
Yeah, they were shag. I hated them.
I loved it.
It was a fun
I
idea.
didn't.
Tough. Yeah.
It was a fun idea, overplayed.
It was like eyesight puzzles, wasn't it? We had to align the camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to align symbols that you're seeing kind of floating around up with something. And apparently that's to simulate an actual psychosis. So this is taken from actual people that suffer from psychoses.
I heard that they've gone through a lot of like psychological stuff of both games.
To be
which
as
I
accurate as
appreciate.
they possibly can.
As someone with a mental brain.
Yeah, and that's in the first game that it really, really, it's so uncomfortable to play.
Yes.
Even if you're not doing
Yes,
anything,
it is.
it's a complete barrage against all your senses.
I played it with headphones on and I had to take them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and it's if you've even slightly felt that something's not always mentally right, and I think probably most of us have, it will get you right in the gut, and it will kind of pull at those strings that are there in all of us. That didn't work so well in the second game, I think, where the voices in your head in the first one are very layered and they're confusing, and it's everything all at once. This one is two or three voices going one at a time, and they're just kind of telling you what to do rather than conveying the confusion and fear within Senua.
Climb that ledge.
Yeah,
Like that.
climb that ledge, or you need to block, and you need to.
Fuck
He's so much
that.
faster.
Don't tell
than
me
us.
how to play.
Yeah, exactly. So in lieu of a tutorial, you've got that, but it's the entire way through the game. So the impact of the voices are gone a little bit. It just becomes a bit gimmicky now, and it's just a bit overplayed. The puzzles, as we're going to say, largely the same as the first game. But where people had moaned in the first game that there were too many puzzles that were all the same, they've replaced this by nothing. There's fewer
It's the same.
puzzles.
Is
The
that
end.
it? So they've not actually they've done less puzzles but not filled the space.
No, so there's a lot of walking. There's much more walking. Which, again, at the
Pretty
beginning,
walking. It's pretty walking.
this is it. At the beginning of the game, you've got a
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine to begin with because you can soak it in. You can gasp in awe at these.
Do you know
graphics
what
that I
I've
did.
noticed with gorgeous looking games? After a while, you just stop forgetting that it's gorgeous.
And you forget
you start
forget it's a
forgetting.
game as well sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm used to the graphics now. I'm over the fact that it's gorgeous. Let's get some game. Let's get some game in there.
Yeah.
For me, the original one, what I loved, I say loved about the original one, I hated the original one because it scared the shit out of me.
It is scary.
But I forced myself to kind of finish it. You know, it was one of those where I had to kind of play in like 20 minutes.
I never finished it in the end because I got bored of the actual gameplay.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot, but I didn't like it at the same time. But at no point, I think, did my mind wander. And I think what you're saying here is, you know, there's plenty of time for you to go, oh, hang on a second, how many appointments have I got tomorrow? You know, what?
Yeah.
Is this why they've implemented a really good photo mode because there's nothing else to do?
Well, potentially, yeah, but also, like you said, it's a tech demo. But yeah, there's sections where you are literally just walking from A to B, and it's not even like it's open; it's completely linear. You know, you're funneled down that corridor. So yeah, it's a shame, and I think it's just lost a lot of its heart where the first one was. There's no in the most recent trailer, you know, you've got the scene where she's, you know, they've summoned this giant out of the
thing,
sea and they go to attack it in the cave.
Yeah.
That is one of two set pieces that's in the game, and that's it really. Like these two big set pieces, and they've showed one of it off. That one that they've showed is basically towards the end of the game as well.
Really?
Yeah, and they, you know, it's kind of, you know, you're going through this game thinking you're going to have a big boss at the end, and that just doesn't come. There's like a reasonably interesting kind of fight, but where the first game you've got this big fight with Hela, nothing like that really happens. It's just a bit of a squib at the end.
So, all in all, is this just a massively missed opportunity?
Yes. Like again, tech demo would have been absolutely fucking
They've
fantastic.
spent so much time on this, though.
I know. I can't understand it because even with the graphics being as good as they are, the technology there is they're just taking a photo
once you've
of
made
it.
I don't know how to create games, but once you've made the graphics for a good few years, didn't they think, right, this rock's really cool and it moves and everything, but shouldn't we make a game?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I don't want to like shit on people's artistry and their work and stuff. They might have wanted it to be as it is. They might have just said, this is an experience. It's not a game. We don't like to call it an experience, though, because nobody will fucking play it. But because we can have experience. We can play walking simulators and enjoy them. Like, What Remains of Edith Finch is one of my top games of all time.
Great game.
And there's barely any gameplay in it. But I've read a few reviews on this, and I feel like it's just a shame, really, because I'd like the middle ground. Like, if they'd have took a little less time being a tech demo and turned it into a good game. It doesn't have to be long. I know we joke about it, but it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be competent.
Exactly. We've all played games that are, 3-4 hours. Don't look at Greece. Look at Greece. Sorry. Look at Journey.
Onimusha that I've been playing this week. They are not long games.
You just need it to be impactful, and that it just it's just not there, unfortunately.
So
and
why do you think there's some 9s floating about then?
Pardon?
Why do you think there's some 9 out of 10s floating about then? Do you think they just got something that you didn't grasp?
I think people are maybe if these reviewers who gave it 8s and 9s
Are they blinded by the graphics?
Yeah, went back and played it again, they'd realise that actually there's not much game there. And once once you figured out the very easy anyway short puzzles, you're just gonna fly. I don't know how anyone stretched this to 8 hours. Unless they're not hitting the run button, they're literally just like walking through. I just don't understand how it could have
staring
lasted
at the
that
sky.
long. Yeah, and
so how would you have felt if this game cost you £60?
Oof, I'd be having words. I mean, at the same time, though, like I do want to support Ninja Theory because they're one of the few British companies, and I think and
they're doing things different.
They're doing things different, and they did, the first Hellblade, fantastic, and they did it right, so the potential is there.
Yeah.
And going back to like the shit sandwich, to not end on a sour note, with the exception of the voices just being a little bit samey now, the sound design is incredible. Like the use of Heilung in some of the scenes, and then like the rest of the soundtrack kind of, again, that it simulates a psychosis kind of thing. Like the music's kind of bending and twisting around you a little bit and putting you a little bit on edge. And
Do you think someone like me that doesn't own the console that you can play it on in its beautiful glory, do you think it'd be better for me to watch a long play of it in 4K? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Surely it's going to be the same experience as you're going to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see why not. If you just want to get the story, I mean, you could just cut out the walking scenes. It'd probably be like a 2-hour story. So it'd be fine. Watch. Yeah, do that.
I don't see how it's good because there was them rumors that they're going to bring it to PlayStation. I don't see how people are going to pay for it.
No,
that's my.
They probably
problem.
won't have to. They'll use it as a make weight in the PS Plus tiers and that, won't they? I'm really disappointed for you, Candy, because I know how much you've been looking forward to this. I've got mates who are the same as well, and I haven't spoken to them. You're the first of my friends to speak to about this, but yeah, I'm gutted for you because I know how much you love the other one.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you have got a 6th watch of Fallout to do, so
well, this is true.
It reminds me of like how I felt really bad that people didn't get Death Stranding like we got it.
Yeah.
Because Death Stranding to me is the best looking game that's also had the fantastic gameplay as well. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
I still think Death Stranding is one of the best looking games ever made.
But where I think you can
it's
see
also ridiculously playable.
Where I think you can see Death Stranding as niche, I don't think Hellblade is niche. I think it tried to appeal to the wider audience, whereas Death Stranding.
Maybe that were its problem.
Yeah,
maybe that's where just too simple. Maybe you wanted a bit. Do you know, like you see it and you think, oh, it could be like God of War. This it isn't, is it?
No, nowhere near.
Would you want it to be like God of War though?
Bit more action.
I mean, the original one, I wouldn't, because I didn't. Spoiler: I didn't enjoy the new 2 God of War games as much as I really wanted to.
Mm.
I don't know. I just
force yourself through them,
and I'm going to put it down to the fact that I really loved Senua's Sacrifice.
It could be.
I'm going to put it down to that because I don't know. I think I'd already seen that
the Viking
situation. Yeah. Already, and again, the same reason I probably didn't like Valhalla, but I mean, Valhalla's shit. That's why.
Don't waste your time with Valhalla, mate.
I'd finished Odyssey and I went straight to pick Valhalla up, and it's not the right way to do it.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. I like Planty said, I'm gutted for fans of it. I'm not going to do any tribalism or anything like, whoa, fucking Xbox. Because it's not even that. It's I like Ninja Theory as well. They've done some crazy, like, out there games in the past.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did Enslaved, and I loved Enslaved.
Oh, mate, I'd love to go back to Enslaved.
I fucking loved Enslaved.
That was a great game.
Did you ever play that, Candy?
No.
The Andy
Serkis
game.
motion captured.
Oh, it's so fucking good. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they did that. Pretty sure they did.
Let's have a little look.
I might be completely off the mark.
I see you typing away at that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's
really good.
Really good. Yeah.
But that's quite walking simulator with a little bit of fighting here and there. But Enslaved's got, and a lot of people didn't like that either. So
That was based on the monkey.
Yeah, Journey to the West.
mythology,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is Ninja Theory.
Yeah, that was so good. It was so fucking good. And I think they did that. They've done a few, haven't they?
Look, if we are going to say about Ninja Theory here, and you're disappointed for them, they're getting the downloads, they're getting the playtime.
They'll be fine.
It's got an average playtime anyway. They're going to hit that, so they can take the criticism and the feedback, and they can move on to the next one because it's all on Xbox. Subscription, isn't it? So So fine.
They've been paid, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're going to be paid in the incremental steps, however that looks internally. I none of us know, but they're still going to get that. So there's learnings here. There's things they can figure out. There might be another one sat there in the background, another 2-hour adventure or something that's sat there that they can tweak a little bit and release. Who knows?
Yeah. Good luck to them. Shame. I'm sorry. Would you put a score on that at all, Candy?
I would give it
Out of
a 6.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Five being
A
average,
very-
6 being above average. So
Yeah, a very
it sounds like a
pretty
mean
6.
score, but it's not.
It's an opportunity for you to live stream it for us, Candy, because
I think
Oodles and
it
I
is.
can't play it.
Oh,
we
I
haven't
can
got
do,
an
can't
Xbox.
I? Yeah.
So why don't you live stream? Sorry, I'm putting you on pressure, but live stream it for the podcast. Live stream it for
Yeah,
us.
no, I absolutely can do that because I've got a couple of other friends that want to watch it too. So
Yeah, walk us through it,
Sweet.
mate.
I will.
I want to watch it,
Literally.
and I want to watch your reactions to it. Second time round, going. Here you go, guys. Watch this bit. Look, she's walking.
more walking.
Oh, look at the animations on the soles of those feet. Tarantino.
Oh God, yeah.
How dirty
Oh.
do you think Senua's feet are, actually? Just
Oh, she's
asking
got
for a
some
friend.
blisters, hasn't
called
she?
QT. Yeah.
Bit of trench foot.
Oh, Jesus. She should have put socks on. I mean, that's what Lieutenant Dan told us.
That's her saga.
Finishes off, Biggie.
Yeah, so my Baldur's Gate update, 80 plus
Can't you
hours
talk
in.
about
I have got to, I think I'm just outside the Moonrise Towers. I'm in some
Yeah.
pub and I'm stuck on a battle, which I've only attempted once so far.
Oh.
With,
Is it the big guy in the pub, the big bloated guy?
It is the big guy in the
Yeah.
pub.
You can convince
I'm
him
there
not
at the minute.
not to fight him if you're good at convincing.
Yeah, I had some dialogue that was going my way, and then all of a sudden it didn't, and it broke into a fight.
He wants you to get pissed with him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Shock horror shit Biggie rolls.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
which I thought I'd be all right with having a drink with somebody, but yeah, it
And
didn't go my way.
He's an
so.
interesting character, isn't he? Like I was kind of that was just after the bit where I'd dealt with I don't know if you've dealt with the woman that's covered in coins. You know, the coin.
Oh, yeah, they're
creature.
all related. They all related to Kefric, aren't they? They're all his family.
Yeah, the coin creature that's upstairs, just beyond,
Yeah,
kind of
near the
around
barn.
that area, mate.
No, I haven't
If
got
you've
to that bit yet.
avoided that, good, because that's really scary to start with. But as soon
It's
as you give her a
awful.
couple of slaps, it's.
If you give
Oh,
her a
yeah.
couple of coins, she's all right as well.
Oh no, it's too much coin. I couldn't give that coin.
It's a great
But
game.
yeah, I'm loving that game as it is. So yeah, I really enjoying that. But I did find time to watch something on Netflix, and it's called Parasyte with a Y, The Grey, and it's
Parasite, the Grey.
a 2024 South Korean sci-fi horror body snatcher
Is it with the
television
body horror
series.
stuff?
Yes.
I've seen the manga, the anime.
Yeah, so it's directed and co-written by Yeon Sang-ho. The series is a live-action spin-off of the manga series Parasite,
I've seen
with a
it.
Y, by the Japanese artist Hitoshi Iwaki, and depicts a confrontation with unidentified parasitic creatures that live on humans and have the urge to kill humans. It stars Jeon So-ni, Koo Kyo-hwan, and Lee Jung-hyun. I've not read the manga or seen the anime, but
it's
the
good.
trailer was the thing that got me watching this. Once you have the introduction of these creatures, they drop from the sky for no apparent reason across the world. But of course, it focuses on this particular incident that happens in Korea. The main story focuses on a particular girl who, I'll give you a little synopsis because this is right at the beginning of the first episode, so I wouldn't say this is a spoiler.
It's a boy in the anime.
So the girl is attacked by a schizophrenic man who follows her after an argument at the checkout in the store where she works. After he runs her off the road, he brutally stabs her several times before she collapses near where one of these parasites has landed. It bonds with her. Basically, the egg hatches, and this little squirmy, creepy, crawly kind of thing comes out and bonds with her to survive, and it finds out that obviously she's been attacked, so it heals her, and it creates this unusual bond between them. Other hosts,
Do they
when
talk
they
to each
do
other
meet,
like they do in the show?
they detect each other. There's like a little high-pitched noise
Yeah.
goes off, detecting that somebody's nearby. Meanwhile, there's a woman called Choi who is the team leader of a unit called the Grey. It's a special unit tasked with tracking down the creatures and keeping them out of the news and social media. So a lot of people don't realise this shit's going on. This is basically a gore, a drama, and sci-fi silliness all in one. It's quite enjoyable. It's a bit like a mix of The Thing, which obviously is what attracted me to it, and Line of Duty.
Yeah, and
Because
that's where it lost me, Biggie. I got to be honest, because we watched the first episode, and half an hour in, I turned to Rachel and went, "Come on, boy, this is the one for me." And then by the end of the episode, I went, "You can watch this on your own."
Yeah. The special effects are a real mix of good and bad CGI. So when the creature has taken over a human form, it looks exactly like they are, and then when it wants to, it splits its head open. You get these like tentacles come out with blades created from the skull, and it can attack people. Basically, they just want to take on humans, because if they don't, they will die off eventually. They have a short, limited span out in the open, so they need to find another host as soon as possible.
Sounds like my ex.
It's entirely watchable. I mean, I naturally want to watch it because of the thing links, because it's got that kind of spooky stuff going on. But it gets a bit silly later on. There's some drama in there, which is very well acted, I have to say. But when it gets silly, it gets silly. And because I think it's based on manga or anime, I can see how that would probably be the better version to watch than this, if you know what I mean.
It's funny though. It's funny though you say that, because the anime is based on a schoolboy gets attached to one of them things, and they become like best pals. Him and the Parasyte. Like, do you know, like Venom?
Yes,
It's like
better.
Venom.
Well, in this one, the girl, she's not awake when the creature takes over because of the. She's like a mutant.
That's not what the
version.
anime is at all. They're just talking.
Yeah,
to each other,
so
like,
she technically falls asleep when all this happens, and then when the creature is tired, it goes back to her, and she wakes up again.
it seems like a kind of sequel or like in-universe other story to the.
There are
actual-
links, which I won't ruin it for you if you do watch it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's there are better, I think, Korean drama, shows out there. I think Alice of Borderlands, I think I was watching. That was really
Squid Game.
cool. Squid Game, stuff like that. So I mean, this is up there, but it's not the best. The CGI, when it's out in daylight, it really shows up the CGI because you've got the light effects on it. When it's slightly darker, the CGI is really, really good because it looks a bit more naturalistic.
The old Wonder Woman 84 trick.
Yeah.
Make it dark and your CGI doesn't look like dog shit, but it's
It is really like that. They obviously spent whatever. I'm sorry, I'm saying they spend a lot of money. I think these days probably CGI is probably quite cheap to use if you've got all the software and stuff.
Yeah.
Companies, there's CGI in almost everything.
It's not
nowadays.
Weta Workshop, is it?
No,
Mr. Video.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. And yeah, there's no explanation at all about the background of where these creatures come from. There's none of that at all. It's just
There isn't
literally
in the anime. They just
going
turn
through
up.
the storyline and what happens. But it ends with a setup for season 2. So I think there's more to come, depending on, I guess, the success of the show. But yeah, it is
It's
what it is.
Netflix want it. There won't be no success. They'll cancel it.
No, they'll give it 2 seasons and they'll leave it on a right cliffhanger and then it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be fucked. It's good though. It's good that you've watched something new for once. I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Love that. Have our listeners been into anything? Have they been doing anything?
Oh yeah. Do you
Don't
want
know,
me to
mate, I
read
haven't
it?
got the document in front of me.
I'll do it. No worries. Okay, so first up, we've got Mike, and he says, Beck turned 30 today, so this week has mainly been planning her party. We did rewatch Bumblebee, the best Transformers film, and Bullet Train.
Still not seen it. Still not seen it.
Oh, it's great. No, it's really, really... If you hate all those other Transformers movies, you'll get a kick out of this. It's fun.
Is it Michael Bayless?
Executive produced, I think.
Means he wasn't there at all.
I.e., he's got his name on the other ones and the characters, probably. Yeah,
So he did a Skype call and went, do that.
pretty much.
Make a lean over the motorbike. There you go. That's the money
No,
shot.
there's none of that.
Oh.
It's what's her name? Hawkeye.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike went on to say he's enjoying the new Bring Me the Horizon album too.
Yeah.
Even more when he realised that they kept their promise and put 2 lines from all the crowds that went to the tour in January.
I loved that too. I listened to it in work. I was like, wait, everyone listen. We're on that. Yeah, he got the crowds to sing along, and So Called recorded it. But I mean, I guess he must have recorded one of them.
Cooking on gas, them buggers lately, aren't they? Bring Me
very
the Horizon.
much
They are
so, yeah.
cooking on gas.
They're currently watching Hocus Pocus while Beck builds the Sanderson sisters Lego set I got her for her birthday. I don't know what that is.
Nice.
I know what Lego is, but not the Sanderson
It's
sisters.
I don't
the,
know
the
what Lego
house.
is.
The house that
Sandersons.
the witches in Hocus Pocus live in.
Yeah.
Ah,
You've never watched Hocus Pocus?
I probably did years ago, but
Yeah, don't
Not
watch
like
it
it
now.
was.
It's
No, I
aged.
like it.
Yeah, it doesn't out for me.
Remember the sequel that they released recently?
Yeah, well, we only watched it so that we could watch the sequel, and after we watched it, we both went, yeah. We'd never seen
Ah.
it, so we watched it in our 40s, and it's
I like when
really
that
not
cat gets run
indoors.
over and reinflates. That's
Oh,
fun.
stop running over animals, Hollywood. Stop killing animals.
He
All
survived.
animals should live forever,
yeah.
with or without a pet cemetery.
Yeah. Oh. anymore.
Our guest on next week, Stig, they wrote in, "Hello team,
Oh, yeah.
and my sexy stand-in Planty."
Oh,
reason-
I love the fact that everybody writes in about how sexy I am.
'Cause it's
Look
true.
at my sexy body.
Used to be
When
me,
you
mate,
start
but I think my
accepting it,
mantle's
Planty.
gone now. I've hit 50.
Planty, start accepting it, and it'll happen. You'll become sexy.
Shush. No, listeners
God,
can't
but-
see, but I'm actually blushing.
Ooh.
You couldn't be more erect if you tried. Yeah, the reason for my absence this week is that I travelled down to Oodle's favourite place on earth, London Town,
I don't think he knows me.
where I met up with long-term listeners, Discord members, and friends of the pod, Super Natty Cat and Robotic Monkey.
Great.
We went
people.
to see
Good
the
cunts.
stage show of Spirited Away at the London Coliseum,
Oh,
and it was
is that what they went for?
phenomenal. Much like
Has he not seen
my
that
neighbour,
already? Oh, it was the Neighbour Totoro one he went to last time.
Yeah.
much like my neighbour Totoro, Totoro
Yeah.
stage play. They have done a fantastic job with bringing anime to life on stage through a mixture of puppetry, costumes, screens, and a revolving stage. The acting and music were amazing. And on a technical standpoint, I think this one was more impressive than Totoro because this is there's so many more creatures to bring to life.
Yeah. There's more to it.
I-
Yeah.
Didn't know how they'd pull off Haku's dragon form or where No Face becomes gigantic, but both were done so well and extremely effective. They even managed to pull off the frog and Kamaji, the Spider-Man, effectively, that you're able to completely zone out of the stage hands that are controlling them.
Spoiler, when No Face gets gigantic, it's actually me, listeners.
One
I'd
thing
love to
I
have
didn't
seen that.
expect and didn't know was that it was all in Japanese and there were subtitles on various screens around the stage. It sounds odd that the stage show is subtitled, but it worked really well and was in
I
no
bet it
way
did.
distracting.
Oh, I love it.
I'm into that so fucking
Me
much.
too.
Both this and Totoro have been a treat with so much respect and love that I'd highly recommend both to anyone. Here's hoping for Howl's Moving Castle next. Marching on
That'll cost
together.
a fortune.
Love Stig.
Oh, love you, Stig.
Oh,
Just reminded
sit
me
on
of that
train.
actually because I didn't realise I started watching Parasyte with the dubbed version. I changed that very quickly. I can tell
Of
you.
course you
Yeah,
fucking did.
yeah.
Of course
It
you
was
did,
awful.
mate. Don't be
It was
daft. Don't
awful.
be
The only
daft.
the only South Korean dubbed show I think I've ever watched is on Netflix. Is that the one that you guys talk about all the time?
Oh, Physical
the-
100.
Yeah, because
'cause it's
I-
funny.
Because usually I'm doing some sort of workout while they are in the house, and I just
Yeah,
can't
but you
concentrate with
get
subtitles.
beautiful lines like, "Oh my God, it's him!
Oh,
I can't
he's
believe
here.
it's him!
Yeah, he's
Look
here.
at him! He's like
It's
a
part of the
god.
entertainment.
His abs are
that.
perfect.
He look at his biceps. I would eat them. Mm-mm-mm.
I thought I'd do really well in that.
Yeah, Piggy nose.
That's right.
Well, we've got a trio here. Super Natty Cat wrote in next. On way back from Spirited Away show in London with the glamorous Stig and Robotic Monkey.
I don't think she met him.
It was literally the most amazing thing I've ever seen on stage. It was magical.
Good. I'm jealous, but good.
And to finish it off, Robotic Monkey just went to see the theatre show of Spirited Away in London. It was absolutely magical. A little strange at first to have a stage show in Japanese with subtitles on a board, but I've seen the film so many times, it didn't really bother me at all. Definitely recommend checking it out if you can.
A bit
I feel like-
disappointed. At least not one of them went. It was fucking shit.
Shite, yeah.
That'd be good.
I feel like us four here are the only people that didn't go to see it.
I know.
Yeah.
Bloody
Yeah.
pissed
How,
Didn't get the
happy
invite.
birthday to Stu Articus, by the way.
He'll have already had it by now. He'll have already had it.
Yeah.
It's done.
God, that's flown.
15 years old already.
Yeah.
Can't believe
I
it.
know,
Time
yeah.
flies.
Yeah.
Be getting a job soon. Is that all the feedback, sir?
No,
Oh,
Xenos is up next.
get
Boy, I'm
ready,
glad I'm
strap
not
in.
reading this.
We're struggling to come up with anything for this week's feedback. Well, he did.
Excellent, thank
but
you.
I do have two things. Firstly, Star Wars A New Hope, which I was only just starting when I typed up last week's feedback, was good.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the places where George Lucas has gone back and meddled with it are painfully obvious. The bit where they've inserted a CGI Jabba into Mos Eisley is
Oh,
in
don't
particularly
fucking start
looks
me, Xenos.
absolutely dire.
Where
But from
Han
the
Solo jumps
untouched
up.
parts, yeah. But from the untouched parts, I can understand why this is such a huge hit in the 70s. I'll
Yes,
get around
mate.
to watching the other films at some point, but I haven't decided how many of them yet. Secondly,
Do you think he's going to love Empire like all us do?
yes.
Is this a
I think it's-
first watch for Xenos? Has he not
Yeah.
seen these? Wow.
don't
imagine-
want-
Wow.
I'm
Can you
not
imagine
sure
never
because
seeing
he-
Empire? It's his first
Wait.
time ever. He's never seen Empire.
So jealous.
Really, because he implied that he's already pointed out the untouched part, so maybe
No, because he
he's worked
knows
out-
about it, because that's the only version you can watch
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's obvious
Yeah.
without having needed to see it before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, that's fair.
That Bamfer on the first one where it's going.
Oh, where it was in the
background.
Yeah, the one that did, and the yeah.
Yeah. Stupid. That wasn't in the original.
No. Secondly, one I've been holding off for in the last few months, some of you might remember that back in February I talked about a game called Nightingale coming out and said I was planning to do a review for it. You may have noticed that it never materialised, and the reason is that the game's been in a pretty bad state in that time. Nightingale is an early access survival, crafting and exploration game like Enshrouded, which I've been playing for the last few weeks. But unlike Enshrouded's general fantasy aesthetic, Nightingale is gas lamp fantasy. You are a Victorian citizen from 1899, and a science has successfully created portals into the realms of the Fae, which allow travel between worlds. Unfortunately, science has cocked it right up, and while trying to do a giant
Science.
experiment in Paris, something went horribly wrong, and the world might have ended. We're not sure. Nobody can get portals back to Earth to open properly. Either way, you start out by escaping the potential apocalypse scenario into a realm portal, and your mission is to find the titular city of Nightingale, an interdimensional hub untouched by the world ending, but cut off by the portal network collapsing. By establishing yourself a base in the Feywild and exploring portals until you can track the city down. Thing is, unlike Enshrouded, Nightingale has some serious performance issues, at least on my computer. Despite all my fiddling and settings, the frame rate has been abysmal and lag is almost constant. The default game is online, and offline mode was only added this week. It doesn't make the whole thing much better, as it just transfers the load from the servers to your computer, and mine's not particularly high spec. As much as I like the aesthetic they've gone for, and the game is generally pretty, it needs some pretty significant focus on optimization right now, and I don't know when they're likely to work on that. I'd like to be able to recommend it, but given that I can't really play the game properly at the moment, I'm going to have to wait and see how it is after they've had longer to work on it.
That's disappointing because I liked the look of this game. It looks incredible.
I like the look of it as well. I remember you mentioning it last time, and I think I already knew about it anyway, and I think it's a very cool concept. But again, I haven't got the stomach. What people do you know when people buy things early access kind of people? I ain't got the stomach to do that, because what if it just never comes to light? What if it never, the fruition never happens and it never gets good? I'd be furious at myself.
Star
Too late for a
Citizen.
refund. Star Citizen. Is that doing that still? It's still not finished, is it, Star Citizen?
It's supposed to be out, but it literally finished imminently, I think they've said.
Fucking hellfire. It's ever since No Man's Sky, because I enjoyed that first iteration of No Man's Sky, but it really
bitten, twice
upset me.
shy for me.
Yeah.
No Man's
It
Sky.
really upset.
And I did try and go back to it about 2-3 years later, and I couldn't get over the
That
fact
foul taste, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I had a physical disc in my hand. I was trying to go
Wow.
back to it. It arrived on day one, and I was so excited,
Me
and
too.
I must have fired about 30, 40 hours into it. And then they went, yeah, well, actually, we'd lied about all this. And I went, okay. And then a few years later, they went, it's amazing now. And everyone went, it's fantastic now. I was like,
It is.
yeah, I'm sure
It's too
it
late.
is. Sure
It's
it
too
is.
late.
I keep meaning to go back as well. But
You move past it though, don't you? You get past the hype, and that's what happened with me in Minecraft. I always saw Minecraft in periphery, going, "Oh, that looks good," and I've just never got to it. I never got to it. And now apparently,
do you know what? I
it's not the same
enjoyed
game
having
it was.
the PS4 backdrop that was on my PS4 from that game that you got as a pre-order bonus, because it had the fantastic sci-fi music playing in the background. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that more. Just having that playing on loop
The
in the
actual
background
game.
The actual
than the
game.
game. So finally, Mr. Angry Kurt. Hi, Emmy Crew. This week I finished The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Castle, which was really good, with lots of twists and turns. I look forward to hearing what you think of it when you get around to it. I've now moved into reading Blood and Chrome, a book all about the troublesome production of Mad Max Fury Road. I'm early into it,
Boy.
but so far it's been absolutely fascinating in how crazy shooting that film was. I also watched both Thunderdome and Fury Road the past week before starting the book. Won't say much more about Fury Road, as we all know it's one of the best action films ever made. But on Thunderdome, I would controversially say it's my favourite of the first three. It's a film of two halves, and admittedly the second half with all the children is very weak, but the first half up to and including the fight in the Thunderdome was so good that it was enough to elevate it above the first two films for me. Cheers, Kurt.
What I will say, Kurt, on this, because we've kind of had a little bit of a semi-chat about it on Discord, but which I didn't say was, what I love about Mad Max, my favourite thing is the grotesques. So I love all the, all the warlords and the creatures.
Immortan Joe,
Scabious
Scrotus.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that Thunderdome has more of that, from Pig Fucker to Master Blaster, and all that kind of all that.
Tina Turner,
great. And it's got loads of that, and I love that, and it's on such a much that beginning bit of Barter Town's on such a bigger scale than anything else, and it's absolutely what I wanted. But again, Kurt's got it spot on. It needs to probably be just that little bit shorter, or get from the train bit straight into the kids, or not get into the kids at all. It's up to you.
Yeah, stop getting into kids, guys.
Indeed. Go back to E.T., where he appreciates it so much more.
When you watch Fury Road and then go back, because I still think Road Warrior is the best of the original trilogy. I think Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
I agree.
Is
I still like the first one.
Road Warrior scared me when I first watched it.
It's scary. It's a scary film. But Furiosa, I should be seeing that very imminently. I just love that George Miller's still alive and he's still making batshit crazy films. Because guys, and Kurt especially, go back and watch Babe, Pig in the City or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
because that is a mental movie. Mad Max film, but a pig version. It's mental. It's mental. Yeah. And he made them all. He's crazy, that man. I just love that George Miller still exists and people are giving him money to do stupid. And his wife's his director of photography or something like that. His editor. And she's fucking insane as well.
Kurt, his autobiography, George Miller's autobiography, might be one worth picking up as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's in the Fury Road book, but he's got plenty to say about his bit of his career in the other one.
Yeah. That man's mental, and I love him. He's an Australian institution. Fuck me, he's so fucking good. Have you seen him in interviews lately? Like this past year?
No.
Man's still fucking same. He hasn't changed since the fucking 70s. He's just insane. I remember the interview when he's talking about Babe, the first Babe, and he's like, yeah, it's just a pig film, isn't it? It's not, George. It's more than that. It's genius.
It's a studio movie that gets me other things made, I think was what he said around about that time.
Something like that, yeah.
Couldn't disagree
it's pig.
more.
It's a pig. Get over it. Love him so much.
What age rating is that? Is that like suitable for kids, I assume?
Babe.
What, Babe?
Yeah,
it's like a U or something.
It's a U. It's a U, yeah.
I've never
it's
seen
Bar
it.
Ram U.
Yeah, it's just mental. It's just a mental film, but it's for kids as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favourite memories of a teenager was going with. We used to always go to the cinema on Christmas Eve. I was going with my dad, stepmom, and my sisters to see Babe. And I was far too old for it, but my sisters had a great time, so I had a great time.
Babe's so watchable, though, even as an adult. It's fucking weird. It's got talking animals in it, Biggie. Your kid will love it.
You must have read as a kid, Biggie, probably the
Charlotte's Web.
The Sheep Pig. Dick King Smith book that it's based on.
It doesn't ring a bell, no.
It's like Charlotte's Web and stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas Talking Pig, there's no talking spider in Babe. But because you know it's George Miller, when you watch it as a George Miller fan, you're like, I see it. I see it. This pig's Max. This pig's Max. That's what it is. It's crazy. It's great. I love it. Love it.
Max Oinkatansky. I don't know. I'll give that a number around the table.
Nice.
Oh, dear me. Is that the feedback, pal?
That's it, mate.
Excellent. As always, links to all our extracurricular. I'm sorry, I've had a few. It's been a heavy drinking day. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Please consider becoming a patron because X2's just dropped on Modern Escapism. I don't know if you've listened to it, Planty.
No, not yet. I saw you guys talking about it on the Discord, but I was too busy watching 4 hours of a Star Wars Hotel. So I'll get on that because that's a film and a half.
That's
my favourite.
It's Brian Cox giving it some.
Yeah, it's our podcast's patron saint, Brian Cox.
Yeah,
the Dundonian character actor, not the in space amazing one.
Eyes on me, Gary. Not him. I love doing the X-Men thing because it's a world that finally me and Biggie are experts on. That we can actually start talking about stuff because when we did the Kenny Potter. I was the tourist, wasn't I, Candy?
You were.
Yeah.
Such a lovely
It's
time
just
you
great
had,
stuff.
though.
I did. It's the
Yeah,
friends
it
you
was
meet
great.
along the way. But yeah, if you want to be a patron, come on, help us out. Help us out. It's not too bad. We're not too expensive. We could be
Do
cheaper,
it, cowards. I do.
but yeah. Stop being a coward. This is usually where we do end the show, but I'm going to let Planty have a little plug before we get to the very end. Come on, Planty, plug
Thank
away.
you very much. 100 Things We Learned from Film, our most recent episode. We had that big numbnuts on over there. Biggie, as a patron, we spanned the wheel and he was given the opportunity to
Wasn't he
pick
the first?
a film of his choice. He was. And I've got to be honest with you, listeners and
You're fuming.
modern pals. I sent it to John, and John went, "Oh, not fucking Biggie," because the first time we had Biggie on, he bought Ice Pirates, which is it's certainly
He
up
still
there with the
swears
top,
by it. He still
top
swears by
5
it.
worst films we've watched, but easily top 10 best episodes we've done. And he bought Cobra, the
I love
film
it.
and all of the products.
That's a mad film.
It was
So
great
we
fun. I
had a
really
good
enjoyed
time
it.
with that.
Thank you for having me.
It was so good. No,
Terribly aged.
mate. Thank you for your quid. It's got to be worth it. You now don't need to. You now can drop your quid for at least a few months until we get round to you again on the wheel. But yeah,
Never,
we're doing.
never.
We've got a little spinning wheel at the minute, where we're going to we're hoping to do two a month where we can, so we can get through
It's
all the
genius.
patrons as quick as possible. But yeah, 100 Things You Learn from Film. Get us at 100thingsyoulearnfromfilm.co.uk. Give us a listen if you want to learn stuff from the film and want to hear me doing terrible impressions.
Yeah, if you've never listened to it, please listen to it, because modern escapism industries, we're in legal talks to buy them out completely, like Microsoft did to everyone.
Hostile
so
takeover.
We're trying to do a hostile takeover. That's why we keep letting Planty on here.
Get me on the candy pass.
Yeah, we're trying to get it. We're trying to buy
We
them out.
put £2 down for the first offer. It's in
But
negotiation.
I know they have listeners of our show that don't listen to yours and vice versa. If you like this show, you like his show automatically. It's the same level of just irreverence and irrelevance, but for something that we're all passionate about, which is procrastination at the end of the day.
Indeed.
But thanks for joining us, Planty. But before you leave, mate, God, guess what's happening?
So excited.
Yeah.
I'm rigid.
Take your tops off. It's time for a trip down Candyland.
Hey, tops off for the lads.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Yeah, I can't get over this poop tablet, man. The one that you were on about earlier. I've been mulling it over this entire time. Like you could have like national secrets that were like pass it down. But do you think
like government secrets?
government secrets, national secrets that only the spies need to know, and they have it by eating like the poo pills of other spies, like a really grubby exchange of information. Like, but do you think so? Like, if one spy that made a poo pill and the next spy took it, and the next spy made a poo pill and to pass it on to the next
Keep it
one,
going.
it'd be like Chinese whispers.
So,
You can't call it that anymore.
What you're saying is it's M Brown Eye 5 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you've invented a new like IP, the Scat Men, like Men in Black, and it's
Men in
just like
Black.
all about
The
Poop.
Scat Men. I mean, it's got its own theme tune already. It's fine.
yeah.
This
And it's all about this
badabba-dabba-wee.
massive military or governmental conspiracy where, have you taken his scat? Yes, I've taken his. You can't handle my scat.
Oh, maybe there could be one that was planted with a virus, but he didn't know.
Yeah.
But then, like that his poo pills were like giving them false information and that, or like overloading their mainframes, or
You take the red pill or the poo pill.
or the brown pill.
Yeah, no.
Next week on Fecal Matters.
But you know, it's crazy that we can do that, and yet we're allergic to grass, and we're allergic to pollen, and some people are allergic to water. And you go outside, and the sun can burn you. Like, we really haven't adapted to this planet.
It's mad as fuck
And
that
yet-
you can eat poo, but you can't drink milk.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the world?
That sounds like my Saturday night. That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah,
She's a
sorry for
lucky
that,
girl,
sorry for
your
that
wife.
gross one. Like, I actually hadn't thought of a Candyland before that, and the perfect Candyland presented itself. But sorry, it was a big
That's
gross.
the beauty of
It's right up
Gadget
there.
provides, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the beauty of Candyland. It's sometimes when you least expect it, it hits you in the back of the head with a poo pill.
Yeah. Just when you're falling
I'm
asleep.
into it. Like think Kingsman, but Scatman. Scatman, and it's just like, and they're all like they're trying to take this poo pill, but then someone shoots it out of their hand,
Yeah.
like, it flicks down fucking
Goes down
I
a
don't know,
drain.
Washington DC,
Yeah.
fucking down the steps.
Until a rat eats it and
Yeah, and
it
it
ends up
gets
being like
smart.
Splinter. Yeah. Sure.
I'm into it.
But its name could be like
This
Splatter
is the
or
best-
something.
It's the best Candyland you've ever done because I'm bang into it.
I've got to be honest, we really are missing Gadget and Stig, aren't we?
No, we don't need them anymore.
It's always like this.
Nope.
It's fine.
Yeah, we've proven that we've created a new IP courtesy of ME Studios, and it's about people eating poo pills.
Sure.
And I think on that bombshell, it's time to end whatever this was again. But if you're a patron, we'll see you in the green room. Again, Planty, thanks for stepping in. You have filled boots that no one else could fill.
With my scat, yeah.
Hey, I think we've got a theme song as well. The Scat Man. Let's give it a
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
You're right.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Don't tell these lot that you'll be in management because they'll winding you up about chinos.